There we go. Okay, here we are again. Didn't check the height of my mic before I started. I was like, oh, that's a little at eye level. Huh. It's supposed to be at mouth level. Not really going to help anybody if it's at eye level. What is this, smell-o-vision? Anyway. Come on, Velcro, stay on. It is your job, after all. I can't find any other good sleeves besides this one. Like, this one's... The Velcro's starting to go on this one, but I've tried other sleeves. I've bought a couple of other ones, and they just make my wrist hurt, honestly. Like, I feel like this one's fine because it isn't too tight, and because it doesn't, like, clamp down on anything, whereas the other ones, it's either one, the other, or both. But this one's just around the wrist, and that's enough to just brace me. To make sure I don't know, have arthritic pains while playing video games. Let's see who's here, shall we? Take a look. Pad's here and Conker's here. Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome back. Another not timeline correct adventure. Epic. Yeah, there you go. Oh, we are just about to get back into the timeline here. Class is in session. Or, at the very least, it will be. I just need to get the second gym badge in order, and then all of the classes will be in session, and it didn't really seem like a good idea to start the classes when I would have to come back to them in order to complete the classes that weren't unlocked yet, because your extracurriculars, your home ec, and your art, and your all that stuff are not unlocked by default. You just get your core subjects, and that's about it. Also, I was going to be doing something else where I go over and grab a couple of TMs, one of which is in the hedge maze here in town, and one of which is like somewhere over here in East Province area too, so that I could implement them for a strategy involving Strudel in the gym battle here in Artazon today. But it turns out Strudel can't learn either of the TMs. One of the TMs is for Poison Tail. The map said it was for Poison Jab. Strudel can't learn that. The other one was for Toxic Spikes. Strudel can't learn that either. So I said, okay, plan B. And by plan B, I literally mean Bonsly. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Pokemon Violet, the stream edition. Let me just slide off the roof of this bike kiosk real quick. We're in Artazon again today. And we made all of our preparations last time for the gym battle, because last time we started working on the gym challenge. We raised some Pokemon from about level 7 all the way up to level 17. Once we got them to 15, we went and took on the gym in Cortondo. And now today, Artazon. And we can do this one right away. So, have to go for a moment. Sounds like a plan there, Pad. By the time you get back, the gym may or may not be beaten, but that's okay. Doing alright. Haven't been able to join the streams because of IRL events going on. Otherwise, playing God of War Ragnarok at the moment. Oh, nice. Well, that's okay, Conquered. IRL events take priority over the stream stuff. I have not yet gotten a chance to play God of War Ragnarok, but I have played the original now, so I can, in fact, boot that up at any point in time, and I've thought about it at time, you know, occasionally, so maybe I will one of these days. We'll see. I have Houseplant out in front just because she's a little behind Interceptor on experience. She's not actually going to be useful for the gym battle or anything, but if I have her out front for the gym challenge, she can gain enough experience to be just about where Interceptor is. Because they're both in the medium slow bracket of experience, so they'll both level up at basically the same rate. Uh-huh. It sure is. Yeah, how strange. You're literally just sticking your foot in your mouth at this point, Nimona. You've literally walked into this trap yourself. I didn't have to say a single thing. So yeah, that was the goal then, wasn't it? I mean, I guess. Only a couple of levels worth. The events in the early part of this game, like the first 5 events, those being the first 2 gym battles, the first 2 Titans, and the first Team Star battle, they're all really clustered together in terms of like the level caps for them. And that sort of makes it difficult sometimes with thumbnails, because I have to cram a whole bunch of stuff into the thumbnail like I had to do today. Hopefully after we're done with the first team starbase, things will slow down a little bit. It'll be like 1 objective per video, maybe 2. We'll see. Anyway, here's 3 ethers from Mouthpiece over here. You're gonna have a hard time doing that because you don't know how to catch him, Nimona. I'm such an asshole to her. I wish she was a real character. Then maybe I'd feel bad for being an asshole to her. Oh boy. Alright, now I have a question. And this is probably petty, but I have a question. So this animation, if you can even call it that, this head tilt down that the receptionist is doing to look at something, from what I remember, this is a holdover from Sword and Shield, because in Sword and Shield, the registry people had a computer in front of them, and they could look up your name in the registry, and then register you as a challenger. What is this lady looking at? Because there's nothing on the desk. It's literally just a desk. Like, it's literally just the countertop. What is she looking at? Is like the computer under the desk? Because I can guarantee you that from that angle, she would not be able to see a single bit of that computer unless it was at like a 90-degree angle. It's down below her waist. What are you looking at? Do you have your phone out under the desk or something? Teachers yell at me if I do that in class. Why do you get to do it in your job? Don't think about it too much. I know. I know. That's the whole spiel, really. Don't think about it too much, because the more I think about it, the more this game makes my head hurt. Anyway, Sunflora Hide and Seek is the name of the game this time. We try to take good care of them. That's why we let them run loose in the city and do whatever they want. Are you sure that's taking good care of them? Anyway. We just gotta head for the corral so that we can get started with corralling these sunflowers. Fair enough. What a life they must lead to be one of the weakest Pokemon in the game, then evolve with the plentiful sunstones of this region. Only to be penned up in a corral and then told to let loose only whenever there's a gym challenger. Anyway, here's the corral. Sure, I guess I'm ready for that. You do that. Did they have to scream in my ear while doing it, though? Okay, fair enough. Ready or not, here I come. So we have to find 10 Sunflora total and bring them back here. How hard could they possibly be to find? Well, as it turns out, not very hard, because there's like 3 of them directly in front of you when you start. Now, most people probably go wandering off into the city, because I can already see one over there that we could go grab. I'm going to go this way instead, because I can look by poolside and see if any of the Sunflora are doing something silly, like trying to get a drink out of the vending machine, or playing hopscotch. But I just find that a lot of them are clustered back here, so it makes it a little easier to just grab a whole bunch of them very quickly. So then you can just hop over this railing. I think you can even do that if you short hop. So also, the Sunflora follow you at like 15 frames per second, because the game would not run if they followed you at regular speed, from my understanding. I would recommend fighting this one, though, because this one will actually fight you in a battle. Unlike most of them. If they try to run, if they exclamation point and then try to run away from you, they're the ones that'll fight you in a battle. So you get to see the wondrous nature and beauty of 15 FPS Sunflora in front of 10 FPS Windmill. Shrootle, please get out of here and kill this thing. Send it back to whatever nether realm it came from before I die. I don't know if you can catch these Sunflora. I would imagine you can, but I've never really tried. I mean, you need to quote-unquote catch them for the gym test, so I don't know if you can catch them in a Pokeball. I was gonna say, although I suppose this one is right in range to be caught, isn't it? I don't really care. We have a Sunkern already in my, PC. And we have 2 Sunstones already. I would say this is, because you can repeat this minigame along with, I think, most of the other gym test minigames. You can repeat them after the gym test is over and after you've beaten the gym. In this particular case, if you gather 20 Sunflora around town, you can get a Sunstone, if I remember correctly. But, well, we've already got like 1 billion of them, so I don't think I'll need them. I think you only need a total of 2 in order to evolve all of the Pokemon that need them in this region. I don't think there's 3. But yeah, you get a free Sunstone for beating that one anyway, so... If you didn't already have some, there you go. But now we have 10 Sunflora following us again at 15 frames per second, so... It used to be worse. Like, back when the game first came out, this minigame tanked the frames on this game so badly that you ran almost a 50% chance of basically just crashing. They had to patch it, like, 3 times in order to get it to work at this pace, which is really sad, if you ask me. Yes, they apparently also teleport to catch up to you. Yes, that's also true because they can't follow you at the same pace. Or they get stuck on walls and a whole bunch of other stuff. You remember when Let's Go had Pokemon following you? I've already said this, but do you remember when they had Pokemon following you and they would follow you at pretty much the same speed? Or if they were faster than you, they'd just run up ahead and then wait for you? I remember that. Or if they were slower than you, they were riding Pokemon, so they would make you slower by virtue of you riding on them. Like Snorlax. Ah, the good old days. Anyway, so Houseplant, I think you're just about, let's see, 35, 94, 36, 37. Yeah, you guys are pretty close on experience now, so you two should be in good shape. Alright, so the plan of action for the gym battle. I was going to have Shroodle throw toxic spikes at the field so that I could poison my opponents, and that way it would help us with... One of the gym leader's Pokemon has Sturdy, so it would help with breaking Sturdy, but since Shroodle can't learn toxic spikes, I grabbed Bonsly out of the box. I gave Bonsly a Chesto Berry because our opponent, the first Pokemon that they use, has Mega Drain and Sleep Powder as their moves. So I gave Bonsly a Chesto Berry just in case they decide to Sleep Powder on the first turn, but most likely they'll try to Mega Drain instead. And Bonsly has Sturdy, so it'll survive any one hit, and it can get up the Stealth Rocks that we taught it from the Stealth Rock TM that we found last time. So then that will break Sturdy just the same. And then after that point, well, I have a Hoppip with Swords Dance and Acrobatics, and this is a Grass-type gym. I know Hoppip's not the strongest Pokemon in the world, but just trust the plan. It'll make sense when it happens. I swear. Yes, I did. Thanks, I think. Still feel like I'm being patronized, but, you know. Anyway, let's challenge Brassius and get this out of the way. I should take a drink, but knowing my luck, this would pop up as soon as I grab the water bottle, so... hello? Oh, there you are. Sir, that's going to be murder on your legs. And your knees. You're going to need to go to the doctor after that one. You're older than me. That's gotta hurt. And you didn't even have a Rotom phone to break your fall. Uh-huh. Oh. While it was in motion, or... Because it was in motion. It's sad because that set of words, avant-garde, is basically all we get out of Brassius for this entire game. Like, literally, he does nothing other than say that word multiple times. Okay, fair enough. Alright, let's see what kind of masterpiece we can build together. It will be a masterpiece, but not for you. Yeah, how did you even cushion that fall, my dude? Knee pads, I guess. I mean, it didn't help with his one foot that he came down on. Like, that would hurt your groin, that would hurt your feet, that would hurt your knees, it would hurt every single aspect of your body. You'd break your legs. I know it's Pokemon, so I shouldn't really be thinking about that, but, you know. Anyway, Petalil probably sees a KO, but we have Sturdy, so. But in case it decides to be cheeky and go for Sleep Powder, this is why I gave Bonsly a Chesto Berry. You will not prevent me from setting up the Meta Rocks. I have planned ahead for everything, you see. Okay, Bonsley, you've done enough. Yeah, and he could have rolled out of the landing to not feel that impact. I feel like, you know, he could have taken a hint from... There's been several games where you, like, tuck and roll when you... I feel like Zelda did that too, didn't it? Like, Zelda had a tuck and roll when you fall a certain distance. And that was years ago, so, like, what... Is Pokemon not looking at anything outside of themselves? Because where did they get the idea for open-world Pokemon, then? My impression is this came from Breath of the Wild. I don't know. Anyway, Hoppip is pretty good here because its secondary, well, primary grass typing prevents it from being put to sleep by Sleep Powder, and it quad resists Mega Drain, so now we can set up Swords Dances with impunity, but we don't want to Terra up just yet. Our Terra type is Flying, which would give us more power, but we would lose our grass typing, which would mean that we would only half resist Mega Drain, and we could get put to sleep by Sleep Powder. So I'm not going to drop that for the Terra type until it's absolutely necessary for a KO. So just keep tanking this. One more Swords Dance and we should be good to go. You think if I told myself back when I played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu that I'd be playing a Gen 9 Pokemon game a few years from now and using a Hoppip with Swords Dance and Acrobatics, do you think I'd believe myself? Because I'm not sure if I'd believe myself. I'd be like, what has the world come to? Where did we go so wrong? Well, Brassius has his own Smoliv. It has Tackle and Razor Leaf, but +6 Acrobatics says hi. And bye. That poor house bud. Well, Hoppip's gonna evolve after this. That's cool. As for Brassius' final Pokemon, well, it's Sudowoodo. And as we've seen with Katie, Terastallization is in this Sudowoodo's future. So maybe it won't be Sudowoodo anymore. But yeah, it has Sturdy just like Bonsley, so that's why the Stealth Rocks were necessary in order to break that. I'm pretty sure we need to Terra here, even at +6 in order to KO. Hoppip is a Hoppip, and this is a Sudowoodo. It has like base 105 defense or something. So I'm pretty sure we need to Terra in order to KO here. Not sure, but at least it'll guarantee it, you know. I would say put on the floaty hat, Hoppip. It's your time to shine, but it looks like the floaty hat is quite literally floating in this case. You're propelling it into the air with your leaves. Truly Woodo, huh? Fair enough. Probably something that a fan has dreamt up at some point, as a regional variant. The funny hat covers up his eyeballs. Alright, Hoppip. +6 Acrobatics with Terra Stab. That was a physical move, with a Hoppip, and we just one-shotted a Sudowoodo. Granted, it was at +6, but I'm still amused by that. Good job, Hoppip. I don't think I need any flattery. My skills are genuine, as you can plainly see there, Strudel. I wasn't lying when I said this is all that Brassius contributes to the story. Actually, I think he shows up in some of the school events later. One of them, maybe. And I forget if he contributes anything other than Avant-Garde there, but, you know. Yes, it's no longer a Sudowoodo. It can be something else, finally. Just like Hoppip, who is evolving due to the fervent high of her victory. And she evolved into Skiploom. That's cool. Good work, Hoppip. You deserve it. And that takes care of that. 2 gym badges in the books. Thanks, I thought of it myself. They said it was too silly to work. I proved them wrong. I mean, most things could be labeled as art if you look at them hard enough, to be fair, but... Okay, good, because that was the important point here, so... Sure, why not? I can send it home to Mom. Hey! And that's the second gym badge. So that's 2 legitimate gym badges and 5 fake ones now. And we can now catch Pokemon up to level 30 before they start disobeying us. So there you go. We also get this TM that Brassius would have used on his not really Sudowoodo if he was given the chance to use it. The TM for Trailblaze. It is a grass-type move that always raises the speed stat, and a surprising number of Pokemon can learn it even if they're not grass-type, so it's worth experimenting with. Makes for a good Assault Vest move if you want to use an Assault Vest, and also the Pokemon has high enough attack or special attack to where it doesn't need to raise either of those stats. Okay, fair enough. Bye. And that's that. Hey Chris, how you doing? Welcome back. Been a while. Someone almost died, etc. AO3 author type stuff. I don't know what any of that means, but I hope whoever almost died is okay. Good lord. That's no good. But welcome back. We just beat the second gym, and I'm being summoned by someone. I guess so. Who are you, sir? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. The Elite Four is already watching me, and I've only got 2 gym badges? Maybe it's because of all the Titans. Oh, and I guess there's that, too, if you're a teacher at the Academy. Although, I haven't seen any art classes open up. Have they just not been open yet, or...? That's where we were recently, but... I guess we can just say we want to find our treasure. We've been using that as an excuse. We used an excuse with Arvin, so... You're welcome. Well, I guess. I tried to go into the Great Crater last time, but it wouldn't let me in. It just teleported me out. Oh? Well, maybe. I'm not really thinking too hard about it, honestly. I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. Okay. Well, if I do get defeated, then we'll just come back from it, that's all. Fair enough. He seems like a cool guy. Apparently being an Elite Four member doesn't pay enough, so he took a teaching job too, or vice versa. Yeah, it's something like that. Defeating the second gym actually unlocks the languages, the home ec, and the art classes, so now we can actually go and take Hassle's classes along with anybody else's, but... I mean, I get the impression that the Elite Four... I get the impression that most people in Paldea aren't paid particularly well if the experience of one other gym leader is to be judged by, so... But I guess we'll find out, won't we? Because, unlike 99% of the people who play this game on YouTube, I'm actually going to go to the school and take the classes. And since all of the first classes are unlocked now, we're going to go do that right now. After I sell a few things, obviously, because there's a bunch of stuff that I don't need. So we'll just put some stuff away and sell some stuff, and then we'll go from there. Looks like a personified Hay Bale. He might be chill. We'll see if he's chill. He teaches the art classes, so we'll be able to tell very shortly. Okay, well, our Terra Orbs charge back up, so that's good. We can stick some Pokemon in the PC once we're done as well. Let's see. I need 15 of those. I already have max potions and full restores. It's been not very long into the game. Having those is kind of wild. I'm not sure that I need these lemonades, honestly. I think I'm just going to sell the rest of them. I don't need that. Let's see, we'll keep these. I don't think I'm going to use these Premier Balls. Definitely not going to use the Heal Balls or the Nest Ball. So we'll get rid of those. We'll keep all these. And then, don't need that. Still going to keep that Adamant Mint. I have 3 Sunstones, oh my god. Let's see, anything else? I've got these 2 Power Bracers. I'll hold on to these because they might actually be useful in the future, so... And I don't think I'll have any duplicates here, yeah, because I don't remember pulling any of them out, so... Oh, we've got 132 Gimme Gold coins, that's not too bad, we're working our way up. A nugget, 2 pearls, and that's about it. Grab a little extra cash. We're almost at 100k and we've only got 2 gym badges. I feel like I've won the lottery or something. Let's see. All right, Bondsley, you've done enough. You can head back to the PC with the fresh experience that you gained, because that will put you... When does he learn Mimic? At like 18 or something? Just a few levels shy of becoming the Sudowoodo that you can be. All right, so let's see. Skiplim, you go in there. How do I want to do this? So here's my thought process. I want these three in the party, Riolu, Combi, Meryl, because they're going to be useful in the immediate future, because the next order of business, since we've got all the Titans out of the way, the next gym is not till level 24, and the first Team Star base battle is at level 21, so the next order of business is the Team Star base, and these three are going to be the three that help out with that base, so I want them in the party so they can get up to level 21 and help out with that. I do want to bring Mudbray into the party at some point as well, because I have plans for this little goober. But I think before I do that, I want to get Rockruff into the party, because I want Rockruff to be up at around the same level of experience as Diglett is, because they're both in the medium-fast group. And these three, Arrokuda, Diglett, and Rockruff, are going to have something to do with the second Team Starbase battle. So I don't want them to get left behind. So, boy, that's a lot of sandwiches. Yeah, houseplants. We found her. Yes, we did. She's a little bit of a house bud for right now, but we keep raising her. She'll be better off soon enough. So, yeah, so probably Rockruff isn't going to do a whole lot right now. Just going to gain some passive experience, hang out in the party. But before we do anything else, I think it's time to go to school. What do you say? We'll head off over here, and then we'll go to classes. And I mean, I could go straight up to the school, because there is a teleport point straight to the school. So I want to do the classes kind of at a brisk pace over the course of the playthrough. We're going to do a round of classes mostly every time we get a gym badge. There are a couple of exceptions. As a matter of fact, there may only be one exception, and there's a reason for it, because once you complete all of the Team Star bases, the school is basically off limits. If you try to go through the front door to take classes at the school, you run into the final event of the Team Star storyline, and you can't proceed with classes until you beat that. So we kind of have to play around it a little bit, and so that I can take my finals in peace without having to run through the brick wall of Team Star before I take my final exams. It would be a little bit of a problem, you know, just be like, well, I'm late for my final exams. Why? Because Team Star is blocking the front door. I don't know if they'd take that as an excuse. So, but yeah, if you want to take a class, you can talk to the receptionist up front like this, and she'll ask you which class you want to take. And now there's a whole big list. You got biology, math, history, your languages, battle studies, art, and home ec. These are the 7 classes. We'll take each of them. Basically, I'll take this whole list, the number 1 of each class. And once we get our next gym badge, let me think about this. 3rd badge would unlock 3 and 4. 5th badge unlocks 5 and 6. 7th badge unlocks 7 and 8. Do we do it after our next badge, or do we do it after the next Team Star battle? We might do the 2nd classes after the next Team Star battle, just because 3 and 4 will be unlocked after... No, because then that would leave us with a long gap between that, so maybe badge 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Team Star, Team Star... 8 Team Star. Okay, I know how I'm going to do it. Just had to think about all of this stuff for a quick second, sorry. You can't make me go back, not to school. Of all the places to go back. It'll be painless, I hope. I'm not in school right now, but I'm in college right now, so hopefully this will be painless, because it'll be just as easy as it, if not easier. Frankly, compared to between this and cell biology and nutritional therapy and all that stuff, this will probably be a little simpler. Probably being the key word. I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. And you know, I should probably also go and see some of the professors, because there are events around the school. They're kind of like miniature social links almost. So we should go see them around the school after we go to their classes. So you can do that. They don't really keep up though, so probably not a good idea. That being said, there are, I think, 2 Pokemon in the game that evolve only after you've had them take 1,000 steps while they're out of their Pokeball using the ZR button. So if you're going to do that, it might be better to take them to a city or something. There is a city, actually we've been there. Levincia has a big circle that you can kind of walk around with them in, and they'll, you know, just be able to keep up if you do that. And you can probably rack up the 1,000 steps not too slowly that way, so. In a fairly reasonable amount of time anyway. Probably inside buildings. You could probably do it near the water because they can either swim or use a floaty. In the tall grass, that's fine because they'll go fight the Pokemon, but... yeah, indoors... yeah, it could damage infrastructure. I mean, they could just as well do that outside too, but... for what it's worth, the buildings are pretty... well, I would say pretty sturdy in this game, mostly because there's nothing inside of them, so they wouldn't really have to bear any loads, but I've literally glitched inside of a building in this game at one point, so kind of like I did when I went to space in Sonic 06 and then landed inside that building. I've glitched inside of a building in this game too, so... yeah, that's a little bit of a weird thing, isn't it there, Professor Jacques? Why are they out in some of the classrooms? Maybe a different designer designed that and wrote the dialogue for this. And yeah, there's also that too. So, only the lead Pokemon will come out when you throw the ball. But if you throw the ball while locked onto a wild Pokemon like I've been doing multiple times already, it'll just start the battle. So. Yeah, can I keep my Pokemon inside the exam room so it can give me sign language of what the answers are? Are there any events already? School store is just new. Yeah, so if you see any of these exclamation points, those are events that can happen over the, like, inside of the school somewhere. So there's new places for us to go, but if they don't have an event, it's pretty much just NPCs you can talk to. Before we go to any of the other classes, though, let's take care of these events, because we can always come back and get more of these events later. But for now, definitely Professor Jacques has something to say in the biology lab. I think he had something to say even before we went to his class, but now he'll have even more to say. And it's also weird because this isn't our homeroom, this is the biology lab, so it's a little bit different. Are these Voltorb? Yeah, I was going to say. They're different sizes, you see that? It's probably what these kids will say if you talk to them. I was trying to talk to them, but they wouldn't talk back, so... Hey, Professor. Yeah, more or less. Just getting used to the flow of the schedule. It's weird having to come out into the school from independent study and having to go to classes like once a month. It's probably a little more common than that, but you know. Yeah, I've been told. Well, it's not a wonder the school knows where I'm at all times of the day. If you get all that data. Well, actually, I've already done so. Yes, sir. 30 was pretty easy, honestly. I kind of wish he had something unique to say about a specific Pokemon you caught, because this just rings hollow when he says something like this. I mean, I know the game has cut corners all over the place. I mean, look at his tongue right now. There's shadows are jumping in and out of existence inside of his mouth, but, like... say something, please, other than you caught this one and that one. Like, you're not even looking at it, Professor. So yes, Professor Jacques' social link, and I say that with gigantic bolded air quotes, are based on the number of Pokemon that you catch in the Pokedex. His event is only completed if you've registered all 400 Pokemon in your Pokedex, if I remember correctly. But for catching 30 of them, he gives you 3 false swipe TMs, so you can use these to just reduce the target to 1 HP instead of actually fainting them. We might be able to use that in a little while. I'm not bad. I mean, I know how to get a surprise attack, so that helps a lot. And yeah, the next event he'll give you once you get to 100 species of Pokemon. Eventually, it's going to become harder and harder for us to, like, complete those objectives for him by just catching Pokemon. We're going to want to evolve them as well. So we'll work on that. Honestly, proper Pokeball use would totally be a guest lecture by Officer Jenny. I could see her coming in and giving that lecture. Yeah, absolutely. Social links, what, like Persona? Like if Persona was diluted by about 1,000 times, yes. You could say that. Yeah, not that. Anything but that. Yeah, I mean, we've been having some fun on the road. Making the road safer for everybody, making sure that Princess Natalie is the rightful queen of all the land. I mean, yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, I get that. I've been blazing my own trail. Sounds like a plan. And what's that? I don't know that I'm an expert on this, but sure, you can pick my ear. Okay. Director, I have no waking idea, but I'm going to assume that it has something to do with... I mean, I've never even heard this word. I would assume it's slang from about 25 years ago, judging by how out of date this game is, but... I would assume it has something to do with being outdated and uncool. It has the sound of something being outdated and uncool, so... That's the impression I get. Well, I can understand that. I mean, I don't... Like, this might be a weird thing, but here's my thought process. Because kids around the school... Now, you got to imagine, you know, I'm like... like 34. And the kids around the school are like 18 or 19. And they're wandering around the school in the last few weeks of class, and they're just screaming chicken jockey at each other. And I'm like, what the hell is a chicken jockey? Like, that's how out of date I feel right now. Because I'm like, no, I'm definitely aging myself. But what the hell is a chicken jockey? But they're just screaming it down the halls at each other. And I'm like, okay. I mean, if that's what you want, you couldn't just say hello. But yeah, this is what I mean when I say it's a social link, quote unquote, is for each conversation you have, you become slightly closer with your professors. Or your director, in this particular case, the principal. And I feel like some people kind of harp on these, and I mean, yes, they are watered down social links quite a bit by a large margin, but I feel like a lot of people harp on these and be like, well, you can bridge the parasocial gap between you and your professors to uncomfortable levels. I've literally heard that verbatim. But I feel like those people didn't really ever have a passion for school. Because here's the thing, a lot of these people are professional teachers, and... Is that a sleeping giraffe rig? Oh my god. That's awesome. Sorry, just the little details, again, for me. But here's the thing about teachers, right? They love when you do this stuff, where you're going to their offices to ask questions, or just discuss things with them about things that you're interested in. They love that, because most of the time, I've had friends who have become professional teachers. They went into the job because they were passionate about teaching people things. And 90% of the time, most students don't even bother coming to their office hours to ask questions or making the time to do that. They'd rather just not listen in class and go home. And when you get through to even that one student, it can inspire even you, as it turns out. So, yeah... If you do return to school at any point, talk to your teachers. They love that stuff. They eat that up every day. So, anyway, we're in the nurse's office now, so this is a little bit of a different situation, but... Yeah, no, we're fine. I just have never seen this part of the building, so it is my first time here. I wanted to see the sleeping giraffe rig. The tail is awake! Yes, it was. Still can't unsee. Hang on, let me go back up. This guy has that one animation where he asks about your mom and gets edibles from Nimona. What the hell? What have people made for this game? I think this is something that you think is something that is used for something. Maybe. It's something, definitely. Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Here to say hi before you go to bed. Have to be in the office every day now, and yeah, abject waste of time, effort, and resources. And you get to wake up at 4:30 just so you can get ready. That's tough, Marie. Sorry that you have to go through that. Going to sit in an office, to sit in a cubicle and do what we did from home. It's actually a waste. Yes, that's not a whole lot of fun. Sorry that has to happen. Get some sleep so that way it's more bearable, I hope. The tail is awake. Yeah, I recently transferred in, so... Really? I guess news travels fast. Well, that was, like, the first thing that happened, yes, but I would like my efforts with the Titans to speak for themselves. There's also that, yeah. I did. Okay, I'll tell you a few things. Sure, why not? Oh. They're just gonna come out and say it, huh? I mean, it's true. There were a lot of students in school that literally just went to the nurse's office because they said they didn't feel good, and because the nurses have to help them out, they basically just let them nap in there and skip class. So, yeah, I did that a couple of times in high school. Never for anything important, but I definitely did that a couple times in high school. Oh, well. It's fine. I still managed to make it anyway. You can talk to Nurse Miriam a few times. I think if I remember correctly, she has... I think everybody has like 5 events, but her first 3 events are like back to back to back, if I remember correctly, and then all of a sudden there's a big gap. We'll just talk to her when we come here to talk to everybody else, so that way we spread it out, you know. Alright, back to class. Not Biology 2, though. We don't need to take that one, because we can only take up to the 2nd course, and then that's it. So let's just take the 1st course of all of the subjects, and then we can leave. You do get rewards for doing this, by the way. I'm not just doing this for the hell of it, because, quite frankly, I think this school is inferior to Earl's Pokemon Academy from Pokemon Stadium 2. So I... wouldn't be doing it unless I knew there was a reward waiting for me at the end. And there are a few good rewards at the end of this, so... Anyway, our math teacher is Miss Time. You know, I actually do, honestly. But I feel like that's not, yeah, everyone's opinion. There's usually a mixture when it comes to math. I like statistics, personally. Like, I was okay at calculus till we started getting into imaginary numbers, and then my brain just escaped from my head and ran out the door. Statistics, I understand. Imaginary numbers, not so much. So... And considering how much chemistry I do, I think I have algebra pretty much down like the back of my hand at this point, but, you know. I mean, for the most part. You know, the lesson that they teach us in every single one of these classes. Oh, Nemona's in this class. I just noticed that. She's sitting in the front row. Oh, okay. Yes, Miss Time. Move water gun hits a fire type. Well, the damage gets doubled. Right. So super effective moves multiply damage by 2. Not very effective moves divide the damage by 2, or multiply it by 0.5 if you like decimals. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think that's... So I like Miss Time as a teacher because the sign of a good math teacher is being able to take the subject that people dislike and applying it to situations where they may actually understand it better. If you can apply a subject to a number of different situations, you're more likely to catch people with the net so that they understand the subject. Because you have to teach them math anyway, and they have to pass the exams anyway, so you might as well try to cast that net out wide, you know? Didn't. You just slacked off in class and got away with it for the most part. Never got in trouble, at least. See, and that's good, because, I mean, it's like, you know, like, why are we getting in trouble for this? It's high school. Like, come on now. Oh, it must be nighttime. So when the school changes over to nighttime, Psyduck gets done with his shift and Gengar takes over. I don't think I can talk to Gengar, though, because I just tried to, and it automatically turned me to this lady. Imaginary numbers are like negative numbers part 2. Yeah, pretty much. For reference, for those of you that aren't aware of what an imaginary number is, Calculus 3 is based around the number I. Now, I know I is a letter, but as a number, I is the square root of -1. And if you know anything about square roots, you'll know that the square root of -1 doesn't make sense, because in order to square something, it will always be a positive number. So how do you square -1? You don't. It's imaginary. But that's the basis of the whole class. So... Because when you're squaring something, you're multiplying it by itself, and so if you multiply a negative times a negative, you get a positive, but not so in this particular instance. Anyway, let's go to history class. I'm tired of thinking about math. Oh, guess Nemona's in this class too? Something like that. Oh look, a Pokemon Legends reference on the flowchart there. On the timeline. I suppose so. And I suppose if you're going to have a history professor in any game, it would be the game that comes out after Pokemon Legends, which took place like 150 years before this game did, so... Yes, I tried to jump into it last time. Didn't really work out all that well. Wow, that's an old crater. A certain something, huh? Well, I guess. It's not like I can stare where the text box was. Your eyes are up there. Well, treasure, of course. Like, who wouldn't know that? It's like, I mean, I get the impression that my family moved here from a region outside of Paldea, but everybody knows that. That's what they thought, anyway. I mean, that lab can still hunt for treasure. Yeah, I guess I didn't have official business there, so I got imaginarily kicked out of it. Either that or that Garchomp that was up on the cliffs really wanted to talk to me. Yeah, but what if I want to dream of treasure and adventure? Yeah, okay, Miss Ryford. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let you in just because you have to teach people here. Like, do they let the teachers do much of anything in games like this? Not usually. Hey, Laventon in his dumb hat. Wait, is that the Kalos War? It might have been the Kalos War at the very, like, beginning of the timeline. Not sure. They have a few references in there. I guess we can check it out a little more closely the next time we take history. So, we got 4 other classes to go to, so let's go to languages next. And I suppose that would be a reference that, like, obviously it's just referencing X and Y at that point, but it would be a reference that would lead you to think about the newer Pokemon Legends game that's apparently coming out, I don't know when, this year I imagine, but they already had trailers and stuff for it. Usually they don't do that unless there's the game is coming out that year, so... I know what Je m'appelle means. I know what merci beaucoup means as well. There's a few words I am catching here because I'm not trilingual. I can't speak French or Spanish fluently, but you pick up a few words here and there. I guess. I don't know, I don't really find language learning all that spooky. You just have to take it slowly, honestly, and practice. That's the big thing, just practice. Right. Who would do something so vile? I guess it's addressing multiple different audiences with the stream, but like, did that catch on with people? Because it just sounds annoying. I know actually all of these things. The one in the middle is a little, because it's Shisha, but we actually heard Shisha in Fallout 4, and that is Chinese for thank you. So, gracias, merci, Shisha, arigato, and danke. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah, if you know 2 of them, you can kind of guess at it, honestly. If you know none of them, well, just take a guess. There are no wrong answers in this one. You get a little ding if you're correct, but you can continue with the class even if you get it wrong, so just make sure you get it right on the exam. Yeah, and the impression that I get, yeah, is that people actually do appreciate it if you're trying, even if they still talk about you behind your back because you're a tourist. They at least appreciate that you're attempting to help out with, like, speaking the language. So, I mean, I suppose that would work too, but... I'm sorry, senor. Gato es non gracias. Oh, boy. Yes, numbers quad. Indeed. Quad something. Okay, so Battle Studies is basically PE, so I guess we get PE in the middle of the day. That's not terrible. At least they kept PE. I took classes including home ec back when I was in school, but from my understanding, pretty much as soon as I got out of middle school, they cut home ec immediately. So... honestly, home ec class was not a lot of fun because we didn't really do a whole lot of cooking. We mostly just did we did a lot of sewing in home ec class, and we didn't do basically any cooking. And they also made us take care of that stupid baby doll for like a night, a full night. We had to take it home and then document our experiences, and that was atrocious, awful. One of the worst things that you could do in middle school, but it's probably one of the reasons why I decided not to have children particularly early in my life. Because I saw that at like 13 years old and I was like, nope, I can't deal with this. Oh, good lord. Buddhist jokes are funnier in Spanish. Oh god, I don't even know why that would be, but there you go. Absolute territory. Absolute storage space. Isn't it night now in game, or is it just late afternoon, early evening? No, it's nighttime, so it's PE at night. PE after dark with Dendra, the hot-blooded one. Maybe we shouldn't word it that way. I thought it was Ki, actually. I don't think students need to know your age, or your hobby, or your type, but, I mean, we could probably guess at your type from Metacham. It's either fighting or psychic. Oh look, Interceptor's taking the class with me. That's cool. Nimona has a Pokemon she shouldn't have right now, but whatever. It could just be a different Pawmo. Okay, fair enough. Show me what you got. Alright, the physical special split, or just status moves. Okay, what's up? Physical and special. I mean, they could also fall under a status move, but if they inflict damage, they'd only be physical or special. So yeah, some of these are really basic Pokemon stuff, and it's kind of just annoying to have to sit through them in order to get to the good stuff, but there are some situations where you actually learn something out of these classes. Like, this class in particular teaches you a lot about Terra Raid basics, and I wouldn't have known the first thing about Terra Raid basics, at least not at a higher level, without either experiencing them for myself, which I can't because I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, or just trying stuff out and hearing the rest from this class, so... Excuse me. Well, you can have a mixed attacker, but she doesn't seem to like mixed attackers all that much. So you heard it here first, folks. The official Pokemon company says don't use mixed attackers. Otherwise, they would not have had Dendra here telling you otherwise. I guess, but... I mean... we're out in the open night air. I suppose it would be a little cooler out in the open night air. So it would make it easier to work out. Nothing worse than trying to work out in gross, hot, humid weather. Although I don't know how hot and humid it would get, since we're pretty much near the... well, not a mountain, but we're on a plateau here, so... Nobody liked PE as a class, but as a way to recover from the stale vibes of the other classes, yeah, pretty much, there you go. La maestra está emocionada. She is very, very emocionada, isn't she? So, anyway, here's the art class with Mr. Hassel, so let's go there. And then we're almost done. We just have home ec after that. And then any events that popped up with the professors that we have seen other than Nurse Miriam, because like I said, we'll just do hers slowly over time. Nice Star Raptor statue, dude. Wonder if he's the one that carved that. Yeah, I mean, that's usually how it goes with a lot of art classes, unfortunately. I can't draw for crap anymore, and I still had to take 4 art classes in high school. So most of them don't want you to have a refined appreciation for beauty, because that turns you into not a robot. You're gonna ask me that question? I don't know. I mean, you could look at the physical traits of it. There's no right answer for this one, by the way, so we'll just go with the physical traits of it. You're welcome. Yeah, I was gonna say, there is no correct answer for that. It's just beauty. The important part there is to ponder beauty, not to have an answer to it. It's literally the journey, not the destination with beauty. Well, I've been to all of those places. I'm surprised that the waters in Cascaraffa are as cold as they are, because it's right next to a desert. Makes it a pretty good oasis, I guess. But I do like Hassel's lessons because they're kind of like a, hey, listen, you know, classes and whatever you've got going on in real life might be tough, but sometimes it's nice to just take a minute to think about the things that are just happening around you. And despite the fact that it is waxing philosophical, it is a good lesson to take away from this. And the earlier that you teach kids that sometimes it's okay to just stop and think about things, the better off they'll be. Right, exactly. So we'll see if the class lives up to the expectations, but the intro in it isn't too bad. You posted a sketch you did in class. You're afraid you're going to ruin it by painting it. Well, we'll see how it looks when it's sketched, and then, I mean, you know, if you end up painting it, that's okay. Just see what it ends up looking like afterwards. So. Love the doodles in these games. Peak of the content. Art is about contemplation and perspective. Yes, exactly. So it's more, like he said, it's more important to think about it than it is to find any particular answer out of it. So I want to say that the doodles were created by the children of the developers, but I feel like that's a myth. I don't know if there's any particular proof of that, so it would be cool if it was, though. Oh yeah, and you can revisit classes, by the way, so if there's any particular lessons that you want to retake, you can, in fact, do that. So I'm taking a home economics class with a guy named Mr. Cactus. I mean, okay. Wonder how prickly he is. Oh, it's in the post section if you want to see it. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look after I'm done with this and we'll see what it looks like. Mr. Saguaro. He's not quite as prickly as I imagined him being. Cool. And look, Arvin's even in this class, but I suppose he's in the humanities track, whatever that means. You'd think he'd be in the other classes too, but I think this is the only class you see him in. No, I think he might be in the art class too. I wasn't paying attention. I know Nemona's in there with us, but I might have been in there too. But yeah, see, that's the weird thing about them taking away home ec. Like, I understand that they need to do stuff for standardized testing, and so home ec is like the first thing on the chopping block because it's really hard to standardize home ec, but like, it's not that hard to standardize can you follow a recipe, you know what I mean? So, like, the recipe is literally right there. Can you put all of this stuff together? Yes, no. This class in particular, though, also teaches you a little bit about, well, the picnic mechanics of the game, because it's one thing for people to tell you the mechanics, and it's another thing to hear it from a professor that can actually tell you how it all works, which, if you haven't really been experimenting with it, it's worth your while to listen to him, because then you'll know what the sandwiches can do. Also, why are these kids reading in class? Like, put the book down, listen to the professor, please. All you're doing is having a poorly drawn page-turning animation for these books that have no limit to their pages. Yes, sir. Well, I mean, fastness, there is a time limit on preparation, so there is that. Putting your heart in it is always a good idea, but even more helpful meal powers will be based on what you fill the sandwich with. Yeah, maybe a little bit, when Squavit doesn't eat it. Yeah, so what you fill the sandwich with when you do a picnic, because when you do a picnic with your Pokemon, you can make sandwiches out in the field. We haven't done that yet, but I'll demonstrate it in a little while when we actually have a purpose for it. But when you make sandwiches with your Pokemon, you can choose different fillings, and the fillings will determine what meal powers you get, those being like experience point powers, egg power, catching power, that sort of stuff. So he also kind of gives you a vague idea of how to make it work, but nowadays with the internet being, well, the internet, within about a week of the game coming out, they had an entire list of all of the recipes in the game and every single filling and condiment that you needed in order to make those specific things work. And also there's, I'm pretty sure, a sandwich calculator, so if you want a specific effect, you can literally just type them into the calculator and they'll tell you. So, but there's also meals that you can eat at restaurants. We ate a Salisbury steak and that caused a whole bunch of flying types to come out for some godforsaken reason. So, excuse me. Their heads are synchronized. I was gonna say that. Yeah, that's because they're. It's a minimal effort thing. But you know, not to do things often on the channel, to be honest. Huh, this is actually a cool design. Yeah, Mr. Saguaro's not too bad. So I refuse to believe that they weren't sanitized. Still fun though. Anyway, so that takes care of all the classes. Let's see if there's any events around the school, and then we can finally call it a day at the school, and we can start preparing for the first team star fight. So we've got 1, 2, oh wow, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, well, that makes sense. Like I said, I think if I remember correctly, there's either 4 or 5 events with each of the professors. It might be 4 now that I think about it, so. But I could be wrong. Hi, Mr. Hassel. I mean, I don't know. So far, so good, but I've only had the one class. It's kind of hard to tell. Yep. I mean, I guess I don't mind them. I don't know that I like them as much as Nimona, but I don't mind them. I suppose. Why is that? Okay, no problem. Guess we'll learn about that a little more later. These stories are very limited in terms of their scope, but, you know, I guess it's something. I can't complain too loudly. I mean, I will do that anyway, but, you know. Mr. Cactus. Yeah, well, it could be a castle of food, eventually. Really? Again, my activities seem to travel faster than I do. Is a knackle stack with salt cure really all that crazy? I feel like most people that have a knackle stack know what salt cure can do. It'd be even more bizarre, though, if you would come in here, like, with it would have to be with 2 gym badges and had this conversation with him, and him being like, yeah, your Pokemon are really strong, and people keep telling me about them. And it's like, my Pokemon are level 17. What are you talking about? See, and this is nice, though, because the home ec room is open to students, and they can literally come here and cook food if they want to. That's not how home ec was when I was in school. The home ec room was locked when no one was in there. You couldn't get in for anything. Well, fair enough. I'll come see you after class again. Alright, Chris, take it easy. Go get those chores all done. That way they're out of your hair. Staraptor sculpture, yes indeed. Like I said, a pretty cool sculpture too. Okay, off to the staff room. Let's just chat with everybody. I guess we'll go counterclockwise since I found you first there, Mr. Salvatore. You and a few others, but sure. You're the first one I talked to, after all. I mean, you could have just said très hello, but hello is kind of a hard word to say, so I don't even know that I was saying it correctly. Okay, I'll let you know if anything's giving me trouble. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, though, teachers eat this stuff up. You come talk to them about random things that you're interested in from their classes, and they're like, oh my god, I'm getting through to somebody. And then there's Miss Ryfor. We'll talk about her as we go. Okay, I mean, it was one question. What's so interesting about it? Anybody would know the answer. Well, I mean, if we're using the metaphor for Pokemon, I prefer the older games, so I guess I can say that. What is that supposed to mean, lady with a Marshadow hair clip? I'm sure you were. Marshadow hair clip, a Lunala belt buckle. I don't even know what the heck that's supposed to be, like, on a necklace of hers, but... she's gonna be up to something, isn't she? Wish something came of it. Anyway. Talk to Miss Time and then we're out of here. Well, actually, I think there's one more person to go talk to. Yeah, Miss Dendra. So... they're like, holy shit, my new favorite student! Pretty much, yeah. They're like, oh my god, he's actually asking questions! No, I'm good, no questions, just meeting the faculty. Okay, sure, why not? Right. It's multiplied by 100! No, it's doubled. I mean, if you hit them with the right-sized rock, it would be multiplied by 100, but... you know, I think I'll be ready for the exam if that's the kind of quiz you're giving me. Oh, I guess she used to be around the circuit at some point. Wonder why she stopped. She's a very patient woman, isn't she? I'm not going to pry into her personal business, but there had to have been a reason for her to not do the gym circuit. We do actually learn a little bit about why, although I think it's more indirect than, like, directly involving her. That guy's got an Eevee sleeping right next to him. No, walk this way. The Eevee's over here. Look, it heard its name, now its ears perking up. It was always perked up, but I'd like to believe. Anyway, like I said, we'll see Nurse Miriam again the next time we come to school, which will be after the third gym, so let's go see... I always want to call her Coach Dendra, but I guess it's just Miss Dendra. Whole bunch of stuff out here, like 15 FPS Gyarados and 15 FPS Gengar, and... I think she's over here, actually, if I remember correctly. Yeah, she's all the way on the other side of the track that you spawn on, which... I mean, it's fine, but couldn't you have spawned me, like, over there instead? Oh, Sue, Miss Dendra. Sure, we could train in the middle of the night. Why not? But jog around the track? I mean, I guess. I do need to do a little cardio to get ready for my hiking trip. I'll talk about that a little later. Because it's not for a little bit yet. I'm sure it did. As it faded to black, we did nothing and stood here and pretended like we actually did physical exercise. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get a sandwich after this. Oh, okay. Well, that does make things a little easier for me, I suppose. What's on the sandwich? Oh, that's not good. Miss Dendra, do you not know how to cook? It was not, actually. Sorry. Really? Okay, I mean... well, sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, but... if you need to feed your sore body, Miss Dendra. You need to learn how to cook food so you don't have a sore body all the time. I feel like those things go hand in hand, but then again, I've been cooking since I was like 12, so I can't really talk, honestly. Like, I said that to somebody when I was I'm a tutor at the school, right? So I work in the tutoring center. I said that to somebody. I said, yeah, you know, I've been cooking since I was like 12, and this is, I'm telling this to one of my bosses. She says, well, just so that you know, that's not normal for most students. It's like, oh, okay, well, fair enough, I suppose. Alright, well that's all of Class 1's, basically, and we did all the events associated with Class 1. Let's just glitch out of the building real quick. Not even go out the door, just glitch out, as you saw by the fact that the building disappeared in the background. The backdrop underneath it appeared instead. Alright, and now, our next order of business is going to be, well, we did all of the trainer battles in South Province Area 2, and we got Aerial Ace for it. So I think the next order of business is going to be... Oh, okay. I guess I'll just drop them. Can't climb anything around here, huh? Won't even be able to climb this. I'm going to go over here instead. Yeah, so the next order of business is going to be to go South Province Area 3. Although probably I would be better off going back to Artazon and starting over there before I go do it, because most of the trainers on this side of South Province Area 3 don't have particularly strong Pokemon, so it might be better to go that way instead. Can I just, like, fly out of here? Yes, I can by doing this. Where is this going to put me, though? Yeah, she could attend the home ec class, yeah. I wonder if they'll have her do that. Oh, it's just going to stick me on the other side of the door. Okay, fair enough. I don't know if I need any healing, but I guess just in case. Oh, you know what I want to do, actually, because I forgot to do it before, and that's the reason why it's not evolved yet. Let's give Riolu the Soothe Bell after I find my new TMs here. There we go. Because probably just from walking around plus one more level, Riolu should be ready to evolve. Although, do I have any of those berries left? No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. Shouldn't need them, at least not for right now, so... But yeah, so order of business now, get everybody to level 21. I don't know if I need to heal, but I can just heal at this picnic, so let's just do that. That lighting update. There you go. Are the chores all set there, Chris, or did you just notice the lighting and have to come back to mention it? I mean, I would also have done that, to be fair, considering what happened there. So... there's a couple of things that I actually want to pick up while we're here as well. I don't exactly remember where they are, but I'm sure we can figure it out together. TMs, specifically, are what I'm looking for. Because there's a TM for a ground-type move that we can grab while we're up and around all over the place here, somewhere. I guess we can look at what this is, too, while we're here. It's a Terra Normal. Terra Normal Skiddo. Okay, I'll take the LP. But the TM that I'm looking for is up on one of the cliffs. Well, one of the TMs I'm looking for is up on the cliffs. And I mean really up on the cliffs. Like, all the way up on the cliffs. So, I guess we're going to go up and up and up, aren't we? We already climbed all the way to the top the last time, but it's not quite there. This might be it, actually. No, that's not it. But I will take that Rock Slide TM. Now I don't have to go looking for that later, because I'll need that later. So, it is up on one of these cliffs, though. Maybe it's over there. Oh, a large EXP candy. I think those give 10,000 experience points, if I remember correctly. We can go down there. We can't go down to this one, though, so let's go take a look down here. Is there anything above me here? Not really. Yeah, see how you start to slowly float down the further along you go? So, that's what I was looking for right there. The TM for Hyper Voice. One of the TMs, anyway, that I was looking for. Because as it turns out, Smoliv can yell really, really loud if you teach her the TM for Hyper Voice. So let's... Oh, she can't. Never mind. I forgot. That's only a later evolution. Alright, well then we won't teach her that. We'll teach her that when she evolves and learns how to yell really, really loud. Not just yet, though. Collect a few more items. I'll go see if I can find the TM, and then from there we'll take on the trainers. I actually probably should have taken a look and seen how many trainers we need to beat here. I think it's 6 in order to get the reward for this. I was going to say, I think I'm going to try to catch this Growlithe as well, but it doesn't exactly have its back to me. And this Yungoos is about to find me if it keeps walking around this way. Oh, hang on. There we go. Hey, Gao, how you doing? Welcome back. Currently occupied, have to do the rest in a bit. Alright, well, sounds like a plan. There you go. So now you can hang out here a little longer. Have I crafted any TMs or haven't needed to? So far I haven't needed to craft any. I think I will have to craft a couple of them later on, but not quite yet. I haven't needed them yet, so... Play rough definitely won't KO, so let's just play rough. But yeah, there's one in particular that I know I'll definitely need to craft later, so... Alright, capture the Growlithe. Won't be using this one as Interceptor this time around. We've already got an Interceptor, but it doesn't hurt to capture him. Her, in this case. Especially since I think in a little bit we'll be able to get a Firestone from the Pokedex stuff, so we can literally just evolve her right away. And it's something we don't have for the Pokedex already, so why not? Send her to the PC. Pardon me, Yungoos. Okay. Let's just slide along the side here. There we go. Now, what I'm going to try to do with the trainers that we fight on these routes is I'm going to try to fight the tough trainers only after we've fulfilled the conditions for the regular stuff. So, like, we'll fight, if we have to fight 6 trainers, which we do in order to get the thing this time, I think, anyway. We will fight the 6 trainers first, then after we've fought the 6 trainers, that's when we'll, whatchamacallit, we'll go back and we'll find the tough trainers that are hanging around. So... Alright, so the next thing that I need, I think I want to go up here though, because if we go up the watchtower there, we can find another treasure chest, so just keep filling out our Gimmighoul coin collection. We might one day get enough coins in order to evolve that thing, but I don't know yet. We'll see. You know, while I'm here though, the lady that's down here has a strong Pokemon that I can use to gain lots of experience. Well, that's what I try to do with the experience that we get from these things, is I try to find trainers that have large amounts of experience available. You know, I could just do it this way. Hang on. Do this and then do that, and there we go. So, because if I find the trainers that give the most experience, obviously that'll mean the Pokemon that I have will get the most benefit out of these fights. So. Just some dogs playing with each other. No problems there. They're just having a good time. Playing a little rough, but they're having a good time. Sometimes you wonder what the world would be like if Pokemon games actually took notes from the anime. I think there would be a little bit more interesting things going on there. Oh, you don't have any Rock-type moves yet, Rockruff. Okay, well, I guess we'll not have you hang out here. We can send Meryl back in. Yeah, I'm going to send Meryl back in. Why not? Yeah, I feel like it'd be a little more interesting to watch the battles then, because most of the time the battles now are just kind of there, you know. Well, that's a little annoying, but it's fine. I'm just going to stay in. Why not? I mean, rollout's only 90% accurate, so I kind of doubt that it's going to actually hit anytime soon, but you never know. And I got one guaranteed turn of sleep no matter what anyway. So, I guess I could use Bounce as well. But it's still a 2-turn move, and it still has a chance to miss to begin with, so... well, maybe I should anyway, because if I use it, then I can hop up and not get put to sleep again. So. Of course, knowing Meryl, even though I'm 5 levels higher, since this Meryl is not huge power, even Bounce probably won't KO. But, you know, we'll give it a shot anyway. Go on, Meryl. Oh, not trying to put me back to sleep, huh? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, see what I mean. Shouldn't be relying on these inaccurate moves to do much of anything. Speaking of inaccurate moves. Like, I should really honestly just be switching into Interceptor, but I know Interceptor is going to get a little bit more experience than Houseplant if I do that, and again, I'm trying to keep them kind of even. Seriously, Meryl, I was going to say, if you miss that again, I'm going to be like, okay, listen. Hold on, we have to have a talk. Boy, it's a good thing there's a rest point literally right next to me. And even with all the special attacks drops, that bubble beam will still KO. Oh wow, those rocks are flat. Yeah, the graphics in this one leave a lot to be... Oh, now you get a rock type move. That would have ended the battle right away, but that's fine. The graphics in this one really give me like PS2 vibes. Like quite a bit. And there's a lot of situations where they zoom in on these low poly textures. Like this, for example. And it just... It's not a whole lot of fun. Thanks for the cheering on there, Skiddo. Well, both these Cloth are about to assault me, but you know. Yeah, that sounds like Cloth. I'm not gonna be able to get out of this situation, am I? Probably, yes. Go on, get out of here. I mean, I guess you can just sit here and wait for me to be done with the conversation. That too. N64 graphics even. You're gonna get into a battle with me and I can't even pan the camera to dynamic angles? Screw you, Cloth. Houseplant, get in here and feed on the blood of my enemies. If you don't get rock smashed immediately. Ow. Actually hurt a little bit. This'll hurt more. Okay, Houseplant, never mind, change of plans. We're getting you out of there. Because that did decent damage, but definitely not enough to get you up enough HP to survive another hit. So, Riolu? You can Metal Claw this guy. It's 95% accurate. Hell, you can probably counter this guy to death. But knowing my luck, I'll use counter multiple times in a row, and this thing will just keep using Harden, so I might as well just whack it upside the head. Or it could miss. That would not help either. So. You know, while I'm here, actually, I should probably... Oh my god, that did nothing. Well, at least it doesn't have Anger Shell, because if it did, it would have procced right there, so... I was going to say, while I'm here, I should probably go catch a Spoink as well, because I saw one in the background and it reminded me that I should, but, no, there's an attack boost. That'll help. So. And this should get everybody a pretty decent chunk of experience as well. Can I feint you to death? Yes, I can. Good. Yeah, a good chunk of experience for everybody. Not bad. Interceptor and Houseplant are level 19 at this point. And Riolu got a level and is ready to evolve. Perfect. Doesn't get much better than that. Lucario! Very, very early on in the game you can grab this thing, but hey, I'll take it. It will be useful in the battles ahead. It's actually going to be the premier threat for 2 of the Team Star battles. So... And this is actually why it's so good for the very first Team Star battle, because the first one is a Dark-type Team Star battle, and Lucario learns Aura Sphere as soon as it evolves. Granted, it gets Force Palm, like, at level 20 or something like that, but I'm never going to use counter, so let's just get rid of it. Yeah, it's that Anubis guy from Pal World. Better watch, I don't even know if I can say that, or Nintendo will give me a cease and desist. Oh boy, but yeah, Lucario is pretty solid for the first Team Star battle, and then he'll be useful for another one later on as well. So, Rockruff, you're almost to level 15. Once you get to 15, I can swap you out for Mudbray, and then we'll have some ground-type coverage as well, but yeah, we're in good shape. Combi needs a little experience, Meryl needs a little experience. Meryl, in particular, because of the way that the fast experience bracket is, Meryl's going to take a little more experience than the rest of them to get to where we need to go, but that's okay. Alright. Go heal at the picnic point over here, because these picnics are literally everywhere in this part of the game, but that's okay, because as you can see, it helps us fuel back up without having to fly back to a Pokemon Center, then walk all the way back out here, get run into by a bunch of cloth on the way, have to do it again. So don't be silly. Anubis is yellow. There you go. Just circles around the stationary Pokemon, the crab. It's not like they move dynamically. I guess not. They just slide right into you. Instead, little high-quality things like the older games, even that's better. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, this game is full of a lot of cut corners because this game came out, like, in the same year that Pokemon Legends came out, and it came out, if I remember correctly, there was another Pokemon game that came out, like, literally 1 year before this one came out. I don't remember what it was, but this game came out like on the heels of several other Pokemon games having been developed and released not really alongside it, but just about alongside it because of how many of them came out in such a short period of time. So it was never going to be a fully fledged game just because of the way that they did the development cycle for it. And that's a shame because, well, I don't think it could have been particularly incredible no matter how much development time it had, but like, it could have been better than this. Treasure chest. Yes, trainer used teleport. Teleported backwards. Okay, so, I guess, Combi, you just stay out. Because Tackle and Astonish, I don't think will do particularly large amounts of damage. You can do a little bit of damage here. And then we'll swap you out. Because I don't need to catch this Gimmighoul, I just need to knock it out. Well, I don't remember if I have anybody with Dark-type moves in my party right now, so... because I didn't keep Bite on, whatchamacallit, Interceptor. I have Fire Fang instead. I'll send in Rockruff. Rockruff needs a little extra experience out of anybody, so... Might as well keep it in so that it can get that experience here faster. So throw some rocks at it. There we go. Nice little crit for your first rock throw. I'll take it. I haven't decided which version of Rockruff I want yet. I don't think I'm going to be particular about it, to be honest. I think I'm just going to kind of go with whatever I get because I don't need anything specific. All right, so Meryl's evolving. I think I'm going to B-button this real quick because we do want to see what Azumarill does and why I don't want to have it, do that thing. But if I remember correctly, Meryl gets a pretty decent move soon at like level 20 or something like that. So we can keep her for a little longer just to get that move, and then we can go from there. Although I don't know necessarily the move is going to be particularly useful because, thick fat rather than huge power. But, well, might as well give it a shot, right? All right, now the question is, where is this trainer that I want to go and find? I think down here? No, this is South Province Area 5. We don't want to be here right now because this is a little too far in depth. I think, if I remember correctly, the TM that I want is down here-ish, I think. So, I guess I don't need to mark it. It's like a foot away from me, but, might as well grab these while I'm here. Here's an Iron Defense TM. Won't need that, but if you need it, it's there. Alright, are you on top of this little thing here? No, you're not. Well, it's got to be around here somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but it's got to be around here somewhere. So, I usually don't come down here when fighting trainers because, well, there's almost... Oh, there is a TM here. And it's the one I was looking for after all. Bulldoze. Okay, cool. So I read the map correctly. I know there's a cloth over there. Yeah, I usually don't come down here because usually you've already finished fighting all the trainers you need to fight in order to get the reward before you even get to this part of the route. But that's kind of why I'm coming down here, because some of the trainers that are down here, they actually have some pretty high-level Pokemon, like secondary evolutions and stuff like that, so might as well fight them instead, But this will be the second trainer that we fight. Mr. Saguaro. I don't know. You're out in the middle of a desert-looking area, so I would assume you like the Cactus Teacher. But yeah, see, there's a Love Disc out here. So, Love Disc is a Pokemon that does not evolve, despite the fact that a Alomomola looks significantly like it could be a Love Disc evolution. They do not evolve to and from each other. So, But Love Disc will give a little bit of extra experience compared to some of the other Pokemon here. Like, I think there's one kid that has like a Bonsly and a Sunkern, if I remember correctly, and it's like, okay, this battle is going to give me approximately 10 experience total. So, that Cloth was levitating. He was trying to be like the Titan Cloth, where he held onto the side of the wall and then he'd hop down on you if you walked underneath him, but didn't exactly work out because I can jump really high in the air. Well, that's okay. If you wish, then I'll just get more HP back next turn. I wonder if you have Protect, so you can be like a real Alomomola. Nope, you just have Charm. Alright, well, your wish will never come true then, because goodbye. Alright, cool. Combee's level 18. Meryl's working its way up. Oh, it's Mr. Jacques. Okay. What makes you like Mr. Jacques over the other ones? Oh, I'm never going to find out, I guess. It says there's a Slackoth around here. Now I kind of want to look, honestly. Whoop, okay. Well, I don't want to look that badly. But I guess I don't have Nimble yet, so I could go to catch it. Slackoth typically appear in bigger trees, and I don't know where there's a bigger tree around here for a Slackoth to appear in, because the tree that's next to me wouldn't work. It would have to be a bigger tree than this. Alright, well, let's grab this Nimble while we're here. Why not? Might be a little tricky to catch, though. Never mind. So I was going to say, I didn't get a surprise attack on this thing. Although Nimble are kind of hard to get a surprise attack on because they have a tendency to just run off at the first sign of danger, so... But if you're very sneaky, you might be able to catch it without that being the thing. Or you could just literally fall on top of it like I did. Alright, well, we've caught 60 Pokemon, so let's claim our reward. A Firestone. So now we can have 61, because we can quite literally, like I said, just use that on the Growlithe we caught to have an Arcanine. Right now. It pays to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon, as it turns out. Let's see. I'm not even going to bother looking for Slackoth. I'm just going to keep going and see what else I can find. So. Energy Root, I don't want that. I guess it'll sell for a little bit. Sorry, I just see items on the ground and I'm like, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Let along, like, puppet on a string here. It's bad. Not seeing any more Spoink down here. I should, there's one. I should catch one before I get out of here, so let's catch this one, shall we? It's hopping in the wrong direction, but I can get behind it. Slide dash right in. What the hell happened to the lighting just now? Oh my god, it's happening again. Sorry if you have any issues with flashing lights. Good lord. That's no good. I don't think I want to use... Well, I could probably get away with using Struggle Bug because you have an adamant nature. So let's just see. Spoink isn't that like paper thin. Yeah. Do I do one more? No, I'm just going to gust a couple of times and then we can catch it. But I want to grab a Spoink because it'll be useful for something else later. It's one of the last Pokemon that I want to catch for my specialists for the Team Star bases. So, for reference, Combee is one of the specialists for the first Team Star base alongside Meryl and Lucario. So, picked these in particular because they evolve early enough while still having a type advantage against the first typing. So... Yeah, the lighting is going crazy here. Like I said, sorry if you have issues with photosensitivity, because good lord, that was not fun, probably, for any of you. But here's a Spoink. Spoink's in the fast experience group, just like Meryl is, so the early parts of its experience will be a little tricky to level up, but it levels up very quickly after that point, so... And it actually evolves, if I remember correctly, at a level very close to... very close to when the Team Star base that I need it for will be. So that's a good thing. Let's see here. I'm going to stick Interceptor out in front because, I mean, Combee and Meryl are doing okay on experience. Combee needs a little break anyway because it's at half HP. I could heal it, but Yeah. Oh, look, a captive audience of Skiddo that I can have for this entire battle. This young goose is going to have to wait its turn, though. Okay, so this is trainer number 3 out of 6. I could go back up because there's another trainer up there with a Murkrow, and so she would be a little bit more, she would give a little more experience. This Diglett isn't going to give a ton, but I think if I remember correctly, this is the kid that has the Luxio. So... nothing here is interesting. I'm not even joking. It's like a tech demo. Oh, get used to that. Sorry to say it, but this game is full of, I don't know how interesting this actually is types of situations, but, you know. It's just flat. There's not a whole lot of texture to it. There's not a lot of, like, objectives to complete. You're kind of just wandering around. Wow, Interceptor, you just one-shotted Luxio. Holy crap, man. That's that extra EV training we did. Alright, Rockruff's level 15. We can move it. So... yeah, it's empty bland space, yeah, pretty much. Like, the only real thing that's here that has made a difference in terms of, like, what we can do with it is just the watchtower that we went to. But that's about it, you know. But unfortunately, that's a lot of the open world in this game. That's just the way that it is. Sad to say it, but true. Hey, Seichin, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Current team on Pokemon Sword is Delphox, Talonflame, Zoroark, Leafeon, Houndoom, and Primarina. Sounds like a cool team. It's a lot of starters in there. That's cool. Well, good luck with your Pokemon Sword adventures. Hope they go well. Where do I want Spoink here? Here. Because Rockruff's going there. So, let's see. Lucario, Combee, Meryl. You guys go there. Spoink, you're here for the 3rd base, and then you 3, once I catch you 3, will be here for the 4th base, and then Oricorio is the only new addition for the 5th one. Alright, Mudbray, you're in. I think you have Bulldoze right now, so that'll actually... wow, I have a big captive audience. Oh my gosh. Look at all these people. I don't even know what to do with all this attention. I'm going to have to get out of here in a minute, though. That Rookity is walking out quick. By the way, Mudbray, so... interesting thing about Mudbray, and probably one of the things I'll be using it for, is the fact that it has the Own Tempo ability, which will prevent it from becoming confused. It also can't be intimidated, which is pretty nice as well, but the main thing is the lack of confusion. I should probably get this Mudbray a particular EV item, though. So, yeah, we'll see. You could fit this in a single Pokemon gym. There's some shrubs, but the draw distance leaves something to be desired. Yeah, and that's another reason why I don't dash around a lot in this game, because with the draw distance being as low as it is, you could just as well dash into something that you didn't intend to hit, but you end up hitting anyway, you know? It's a little bit of a pain, but... just finished the Ghost-type gym. I'm trying to remember which one was the Ghost-type gym. I only played Sword for like 12 hours total, so I don't think I definitely didn't finish the whole game, but I don't think I got the whole experience out of it. Where's this trainer? I think over here. Another Cloth. I could use this for some quick... actually, Mudbray can even do this because of the ground-type moves. With Bulldoze, I can probably just knock this thing out real quick for some quick EXP. You know, if I can get around to the correct side of it. Oh, it's level 16. That'll be good EXP, too. Okay, I don't know what just happened there. Or yes, leaves, quote unquote. Knew I got that expression wrong. That's okay. No, it's leaves. You're good. They're the low poly leaves that are there. But that's fine. I knew what you meant. Mudbray Bulldoze this Clop for me. Nice. I think I am going to switch into Lucario though, because the Aura Sphere will KO without risking Anger Shell. So, and I should probably move some moves around because Rockruff's Rock Throw I think is in the bottom slot, and Lucario's Aura Sphere is not in the top slot either. So, move some stuff around. Get Rock Smashed right on the switch in. Oh, so you think that's going to help you, huh, Cloth? Well, you see, that's where you're wrong. Eat this. Oh, you meant your current team in Scarlet, your brain. Why were you thinking of Sword? That's okay. No, that's okay. I mean, there's a Ghost-type gym in Sword too, isn't there? So I could see how there would be confusion. Or is that in Shield? I don't remember. I know they had, like, exclusive gyms depending on which version you got, but I don't remember which one is which, so... Alright, I don't need Force Pump right now, but I'll keep in mind that we can get it, because it will be useful later, so... But yeah, no, you're good, Seichin. You're all good. Why not cover everything with fog so it doesn't look so jarring? PS2. Oh, there's only a Ghost Gym in the Shield version? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so see, this is the thing, is that because I didn't really play much of Gen 8 at all, I don't really have the experience with it. Oh good, we're getting Mega Drain. I can take Absorb off now. So now we can actually deal damage with our Grass-type move. That's fun. Aqua Tail, huh? Yeah, sure, why not? I don't know if this was the move. I think this was the move I was thinking of, but I guess since I've already got a bunch of physical attacks otherwise, let's just stick another inaccurate physical attack on Meryl. I don't know that Meryl is going to be doing a whole lot after this. Maybe I just let it evolve since that's the case, honestly, because then I can show you why I don't want to use Azumarill and why I had to take it off of my list of Pokemon I was planning on using for the team. Because Azumarill is a really strong Pokemon, especially if you know, obviously you would want to get one with huge power. And the water and fairy typing is actually probably my favorite type combination in the game. It's just got really solid coverage and really solid defensive options overall. But there's a problem with poor Azumarill here in this game. Because, Growlithe, if you could help me demonstrate, if you'll just stay there for 2 seconds. Let's just bring Azumarill out. Oh, look, Honey Gather procced again. Thanks. I'll take that. You could just stand there for a second while I do this. Alright, so take a look, right? Okay, so we evolved Meryl into Azumarill. You'll notice something looks a little off about Azumarill here. You see how her head's down? Well, the reason why her head's down is because head tracking is being implemented. So her entire top of her head is being used to look down at this Growlithe. But the problem is the head tracking in this game makes them stare directly, like it lines the eyeballs up. See, that's where her head's supposed to be, is up there, and then it drops down again. So basically, because we only see Azumarill from the back angle when we're in battle like this, she's going to play through this entire game, if we were to have her in our team, looking like she's depressed. And a depressed Azumarill is a crime against humanity that I do not want any part of, so that's why we're not using Azumarill for anything important, because depressed Azumarill makes me depressed, and I don't want that, so let's not do that today. So if you wanted to see me use Azumarill, I apologize. It will see use in the Team Star base, but for actual fighting, not so much. Azumarill is so tired of being here. It's been here since Gen 2 and just wants a break. Been on everybody's team ever since Huge Power, the physical special split, and the fairy typing, because Azumarill just stays winning. Okay, I don't think I can do anything to this Ghastly with most of my setup, actually. What do I do against this? I guess Azumarill is the one coming out for this part, but because nobody else has a really good move against this, since I don't have, like, Smackdown or anything. And I do just need a physical move to knock this Ghastly out, so I guess Depressed Azumarill is coming out of the thing to do something right now. Can just only use Azumarill versus very tall Pokemon. Yeah, and that's fair. Like, if they're tall or if they're floating, we could use it. Because here, Azumarill's head tracking, well, it was okay for a second, but now that she's asleep, it's back to being bad again. But, yeah, when they're floating or when they're really tall, Azumarill would be useful there. But I would definitely need it for, like, Dugtrios and, like, rock types that are stuck to the ground. And so then it would just be back to Depression Central, and we don't really want that. If you can't sleep, just tap into that new sleep funk. Apparently Azumarill can sleep just fine. Even though I'm mean-looked. Hazumadre! Azumarill is Azumarizing. Oh boy. Please just wake up so we can finish this fight and miss an Aqua Tail. See, sometimes you gotta hit them with the reverse psychology so they don't miss the Aqua Tail. Okay, so now the Murkrow. Should be able to handle Murkrow with Interceptor, I think. Yeah, the Murkrow will be worth a little bit more experience, so that's why we want to bring it out. And if Mudbray doesn't get as many levels as everybody else is getting, like, I don't need Mudbray to get to 21 yet. I do eventually need Mudbray to get to 24, but that's for the third gym, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. Don't scare my dog. That's not very nice. Interceptor, show her how to play. There you go. That should get us a little more experience. it wasn't quite as much as I thought. Well, that's okay. So what is that? Trainers... How many trainers is that? 4, I think? So we got 2, because we fought the Vivillon lady. We fought the one with the Love Disc. We fought the kid with the Luxio, and we fought you. I don't know if it matters who else I fight now, because I think all the rest of the trainers on the route have Pokemon that just aren't particularly strong, so... Usually you can get away with only fighting trainers that have stronger Pokemon, but, well, these are the early routes, so it doesn't really work that way, you know. You know, I've never tried going back into one of the dens after you get the Herba Mystica. What happens if I go back in here? Oh, nothing, because I'm being blocked by an invisible plot wall. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Is Mudbray still out? Yes, Mudbray's still out. Okay. Let's just double check our experience counters here. 792, 603, 627. I might send Azumarill out against a Cloth. Like, start with Mudbray, swap to... Because there's like 4 Cloth up here. Oh my lord. This one's level 17. This will give Mondo experience. Sorry, Cloth are just worth a lot of experience in the early game, so it's one of those things where just like... I have a tendency to just take advantage of fighting them rather than fighting the trainers, because as you can see, even fighting the trainers with Pokemon that are slightly more powerful doesn't particularly help in terms of getting you lots of experience. But if you fight Cloths, you get a lot of experience, so... Isn't a pack of crows called a murder? Yes, indeed it is. Epic. Oh, the darkness is too thick to pass. Oh boy. Yeah, something like that. That's where the fog is, right? We found the fog. It's just stuck... Azumarill... So this is what I mean. I see it lower its head, and it saddens me so deeply. Because Azumarill should never feel that sad. It's just so sad. I can't handle it. I'm too empathetic. Just doesn't work out. Alright, I think there's... I'm just going to fight a couple of trainers on the road up here. Or maybe I'll fight some of the ones down in the valley here, because I don't get to fight them very often either. Let me heal up first, how long, man. I don't know if it's low on energy, but I just don't feel like wandering back to the Pokemon Center, so... And then there are 2 tough trainers on this route that we can fight. After this, we can go to West Province Area 1, and we can fight trainers there. And it probably would be better for me to finish the fights over there as well, because there is an item that you can get by finishing those fights that would help out a little bit with the next part. But I guess if I'm going to use Aura Sphere, it doesn't really matter all that much, honestly. So, let's see. Is everybody else? Yeah, you're good, because Swift is in the front slot. Okay, everybody else is good. Check experience real quick. 575, 387, 122, 564. So it's really you 3, honestly. So. Alright. Cloth, I'll probably be back for you in a few moments, but let me go down in the valley and fight some stuff instead. Isn't there a rare candy around here somewhere? Excuse me. Excuse me, Palmy. Yeah, it's right down here. I remember this little alcove. It's right next to the ruins, right? Yes, right next to the ruins. And you can catch Bronzor here, and you can catch Ghastly. You can grab some Gimme Ghoul coins if you so choose. Is that the tough trainer over there? I think so. There we go. Yeah, so again, the black text box with gold highlights indicates a tough trainer, so they're going to be a little stronger than the other trainers in the area. But again, we won't be fighting them until we defeat 2 more trainers. I'll have this guy be one of them, I guess. And then we'll fight 1 more, and then we can fight the tough trainers. You found this cool cosmic horror RPG. It's called Look Outside. I think I've heard about... Well, I don't know if I've heard about Look Outside. I think... Because sometimes I get videos from Manly Badass Hero, and he plays a lot of indie horror games. So I get recommendations from his channel sometimes, and so I think one of them was Look Outside. If I remember correctly. You found a shiny Hatena 3 days ago? Nice, congrats, that's awesome. I don't even know if I know where Hatena is located in this game. Probably... No, hang on, is it in South Province Area 4, I want to say? You can find it over there? I could be misremembering, but that sounds right in my head, so... You can probably find its evolutions somewhere else as well, but that's what's coming to mind when I think about it. So. You know, some of those signs get a little passive-aggressive. They're like, hey, so are you still having trouble finding your way to Artazon? Well, the signs are here for a reason. Maybe you should be looking at that. It's like, okay, geez, get off my back. All right, I guess we'll model for this lady for our last regular trainer around here. I didn't even read what she said. Just looked at chat and just let it fly. Good crap look outside. Gonna get an update soon enough due to due to the support, so you might want to play it then. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. It might be worth looking into once the update comes out. Fido. What do I want to use against Fido? I guess I can use Metal Claw. I could send my own Interceptor out. Or I could send Combi in to get a little extra experience. I probably should have had Mudbray use Bulldoze first, but that's okay. Look at the pup. Have a bee, pup. I can tell you didn't train yours with 252 attack EVs. Actually, mine has 255 because it wouldn't sparkle on the status menu unless it had 255 EVs. In whatever given stat it is. Now I'm going to go back to Mudbray. I think Mudbray can probably clutch this out. Gust is not going to do enough because Combi has a minus special attack nature. It's all the more worth it once it evolves. I can always, because if I remember correctly, Vespiquen has Fellstinger. It gets Fellstinger at like level 12, so you can have it remember it on the move relearning menu. So... probably be well worth me to do that in just a little bit. Heck yeah, Mudbray! Getting a KO. The workhorse. Doing his best. Alright, well, Azumarill's level 20. Lucario's almost 21, so that's a good thing as well. Because, sorry, still a little mucus. Not really from being sick. I think it's just from my throat still being a little scratchy, so... Why? Do you think that being able to beat them in battle is going to give you inspiration? How do you know that losing won't give you inspiration? Let's see. 171, 978 to get to level 21, and you only need 421. Well, I guess we know who's going to be fighting the Cloth if we see them along the way here. It's going to have to be Azumarill. Confuse Ray TM, I guess. I thought this Yungoos was an item for a second there. This is an item, though. Another energy root. Ugh. Well, here's the Cloth that I was talking about. Mudbray, you can do a thing. Oh, it's only level 13. Well, I guess that's fine. And it turned on me. That's fine, too, because we can just send a Azumarill in and we'll see how much experience we get out of this. What a camera angle that was. You know, I don't trust that Azumarill can KO this thing in one hit with Aqua Tail. So, I'm going to Bulldoze first, and probably proc Anger Shell while I'm at it. Nope, no Anger Shell. Alright, cool. Well, they just tried losing, and I guess it didn't work. Yeah, and you know, that's fair, actually. They're like, nope, no inspiration. Gotta beat somebody in order to get it. Fair enough. There's almost unkillable water worm that hides down in the sand, and it can eat lionfish. Wow, that's impressive. Lionfish are prickly, if I remember correctly, so. I love how so far we've actually been making an Azumarill that does not have huge power work. Doesn't really usually work that way, but hey, there we go. So there's the first tough trainer right there, that office worker. We'll come back to him once we grab our prize from here. Oh, and you know, there was actually a trainer up top of this ledge next to the Pokemon Center that wouldn't have been bad to fight either because he has a Larvitar. Maybe I'll go fight him right now just for the hell of it because he has a Larvitar, and since I'm playing Violet version, as far as I'm aware, he's the only way I can register Larvitar for my Pokedex because Larvitar, if I remember correctly, is a Scarlet exclusive. So I think I'll just go fight him. You can get up here normally, you just kind of go up that way? This way, because this goes around, right? Yeah. It's a little roundabout to get here, but you can get up here even without having high jump, so... But might as well fight him. It'll be a nice quick fight anyway. Okay, sure. you show me your Pokemon so I can show you my Mudbray. Sorry, I just really like saying Mudbray like that. Because he's such a goofy Pokemon. He's trying his best, though, and I can appreciate that for him. Alright, yeah, send a Azumarill in again. Get the Aqua Tail done. Boy, if this Azumarill had huge power, I would have already bought a second wide lens for it, but boy, it sure doesn't. It's working out okay, other than the depression, but, you know, it just keeps having to, like, put its head down. Again, it makes me so upset looking at it. Like, there, right there, like, come on now. Keep your head held high, Azumarill, you just won a battle. Yeah, maybe a little bit, sir. Sometimes it's worth it finding these Pokemaniacs out in the wild, though, and just fighting them out, because they usually have some pretty rare Pokemon. Sometimes they have version exclusives, just like this guy did. So sometimes it's worth it finding them, just so that way, if you can't get that version exclusive, well, at least you can look at it in your Pokedex. So I don't know if I healed, so let me heal before we go fight the office worker and the other tough trainer. And then we'll move from there. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to sell now as well, but that's okay. We don't need to do that just yet. We can do that later. I think the only thing with Mudbray that might make it a little trickier to raise is the fact that I think it's in the medium fast experience group. Yeah, judging by 18 versus 20, and I know Houseplant is in the medium slow group, so yeah, definitely in medium fast. And medium fast takes a little longer to raise, but that's okay. Alright, so 246, 630, 983. So Combee needs to go out in front, I think, at this point, so that way we know that we can... well, let me think about that, actually. No, I can have Mudbray go out in front, actually, for this next part. And then we can figure it out from there, I guess. I don't know. I know what this guy has. I don't remember what the other person has, but considering she says it's all about balance, she probably has like a Grass, Fire, Water core. So. Battle me, for I am mighty. I think if I remember correctly, this guy has his Pokemon hold leftovers, which would make him more mighty than most. I suppose. Okay, well, let's fight him anyway and see what we can do. Yeah, well, that's a little bit of a clue, I suppose. I guess I should explain, because I kind of mentioned it and then I didn't really explain it. So the item that you would get... Oh, good, the shadows are going crazy around here again. The item that you would get for clearing out... You have to beat 9 trainers in West Province Area 1 in order to get the prize from there. But the prize that you get there is a clear amulet. Oh, well, that's just great. It's called a clear amulet, and the clear amulet prevents your Pokemon from taking any... If your Pokemon's stats would be dropped by something like Intimidate or something like that, instead of having the stats dropped, it's like having the clear body ability. The stats just won't drop. So it's useful for the first team Starfight because one of the Pokemon that the boss uses has Intimidate, but since Lucario is going to be attacking specially anyway, it won't really matter all that much. So, well, I'm going to leave in Mudbray against Skiddo, but we are very quickly going to swap out to Combee, because Combee should be able to take on this Skiddo no problem. Got that quad resistance going on. Use a Bug Bite to use our plus attack nature. Well, that's a little unfortunate, but the worst you can really do to me is tackle, I think. I don't think Skiddo gets takedown yet. I don't remember mine getting takedown at 17. And Bug Bite's a clean 2-hit, so... And we're faster, so it doesn't even matter that you're tail whipping me again. You won't get the chance to use it, friend. Oh, there's the leftovers. I guess Jigglypuff didn't have leftovers, it was just the Skiddo. Would have been cool if he gave them both leftovers, but I guess it wouldn't really matter much if you can knock them out quickly, right? Okay, Interceptor's 21, so we can put Interceptor back in the box now. Because I don't want him to get too much experience here. I don't want him to go over level cap, after all. The level caps are self-imposed, by the way. You don't have to, like, box them if they get over the level. I just prefer to do that, because that way it makes the game a little more challenging for me. So... Alright, Interceptor, you can go in the box and hang out with Roxas, because in a minute Houseplant will be there as well, and then shortly after that, all of you guys will be ready to go, and we'll will be heading off to the base. And then after that is when we'll start to think about doing a couple of other things. Like, I'm trying to think what I want to do after I'm done with the first Team Starbase. I think what I want to do, because it'll be close to the end of the episode, is I'm going to want to go and catch the other 2 team members that I can catch that are in areas that I can get to right now. And then I think I also want to go catch the other 2 Pokemon that I'm going to use as specialists for the Team Starbase battles. But we'll see how much time we actually have near the end here, because it's going to take a little bit to get done with the Team Star stuff, because we have to get there. There's I think there's a Pokemon Center nearby, because we went to the one that was close to Bombardier, but I don't think we registered at the Pokemon Center. No, maybe we did, that one that was near the base. So Lucario and Houseplant will be going in the PC in a few minutes, and then Combie's almost there. Alright, well that's fine. Let's go see the other tough trainer, and then we'll head out. We did a quick tap there. I just tapped the left stick in and then quickly double tapped B. I didn't even intend to double tap B there as quickly as I did, but hey, it worked out. We got good height and good distance off of it, so I'll take it. Alright, let's see what you got. Oh no, the destroyer of the second gym! That's okay. We can handle the destroyer. Hers is not. Hers does not have swords dance and acrobatics after all. Let's see. Yeah, Combee, you should be able to handle this. Because Hoppip doesn't get a flying type move until way later. It does learn acrobatics by level up, if I remember correctly, but not until like in the high 20s or something. So Combee should be able to handle this before too long. And if not, we can always just swap into something else. So I'm not really fussed about it yet. Gust is super effective, but I'm not really certain Gust is going to do a whole ton of damage here. So I guess we can try it, but I'm not counting on it, you know. Especially when I get paralyzed like this. But not much else I can do, because this is the Pokemon that I want to take on this Hoppip with, so I'll just kind of hang out for a little bit, wait a little longer, and then if it doesn't work out, I'll just send in Houseplant, and Houseplant is immune to Stun Spore, so... And resist Bullet Seed. Probably that would be my best bet. I guess if Combee gets paralyzed one more time, we'll just do it. Because why not? Okay, this does all of... Oh wow, that did more than I thought. Probably Bug Bite will KO from here, given that damage. Well, maybe it won't. No, it probably will, because Hoppip is a little weaker on the physical defense side. Combee, in this case, has, I think, an adamant nature, if I'm not misremembering it. So. Yeah, okay, well, there's the second para. So, as I said, since we got the second para, let's swap into Houseplant and have Houseplant finish the job here. A lot of trouble for one Hoppip. Maybe this one is the destroyer of the second gym. Well, it's a little annoying, but we'll make it work. This is what I get for not having a fire type at the moment. Having to deal with this. I guess I should have kept Interceptor in the party, because I could have Fire Fanged and this thing would have already been dead. See how much this does. Okay, yeah, that'll do. You've only got 4 Synthesis left, and eventually you won't be able to heal enough HP to survive. You're on the back foot there, Clara. As I say, and trust me, Swift has a lot more power points than Synthesis does. You're only delaying the inevitable here. Okay, 2 of them are level 21. Salandit, huh? I also like Salandit. It's a goober of a Pokemon. It comes out of the Pokeball and literally says, hey. So, it's such a little goober. Oh, I like it. See what I mean? Hey. Oh, that's not going to save you from this Bulldoze. It's quite effective. She's got a nice variety of status moves, though, at least. Who's laughing now, you little bandit? That was mean. Alright, well, Mudbray's level 19. That's not bad. We're in good shape there. And a Barboach for the last one. Alright. I can handle that. I'm poisoned. I could get off a Bulldoze before I leave. Houseplant just annihilates this thing, though, so maybe I go to Azumarill first, or maybe I go to Combee first, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal experience-wise, so I think I'll just go to Houseplant and then finish this up. Because experience-wise, I think this thing will be worth approximately 100, so it's like 100 experience versus 50 experience, and we're really not... I mean, at that point, we're just splitting hairs, you know? So. Had a feeling that was going to happen. I was like, you know, we've hit all the other status moves in this battle. Why not hit Confusion while we're at it as well? Oh, that's fine. It's faster than me, so eventually I'll break out before I can get confused again. I've never seen Smoliv's physical attack animation, so that's interesting. Oh, and now you're going to do accuracy dropping moves. Are you sure you're a tough trainer? Because at the moment, it just seems more like you're an annoying trainer. There we go. I'll take it. All the souls back in my body. Alright, where are we at experience-wise? So, probably Houseplant is a little higher up on experience than Interceptor now, but that's okay. Yeah, now I'm off balance, because I should have left Interceptor in the party, but oh well. That is true. It's a fair point. She made it work for her because she had so many different types in the party, so... Okay, so let's see here. How do we want to handle this? Spoink, you can stay at level 15, actually, because it looks like everybody else, for the most part, is as well. Houseplant, you can go right here. Now we got all three of them at level 21, so they'll be ready to go as soon as we're done. Excuse me. Lucario's already level 21, and probably, if I'm not careful, it would get to 22, and then it'd be over its amount. Although, you guys only need like 300 experience to get there, so I guess it doesn't matter terribly if I... No, I probably should put Lucario out of the party, but... at the same time, it's like one of the best attackers I've got at the moment, so I don't know if it's a good idea to do that. Well, we can worry about that later. For now, let's head over and see if I've got... I do have it registered. So here's the first Team Star base. The Dark Crew base is right over here. And we actually did register this Pokemon Center before we jumped off into the desert. So, since we have a location right there, we might as well just go straight to it. We'll heal up here. This guy over here is the one that gives you the clear amulet if you've beaten 9 trainers here. And we will eventually beat 9 trainers here. It's just going to take a little while because, obviously, at the moment we're all ahead full on our experience points. So, yeah, might as well get all the status effects for a full house. Yeah, there you go. Wish I won it big like I would if I got a full house, but it seems like I'm only losing when it comes to that stuff. Actually, no, you know what? Put Combee in front. Mudbray needs the experience, but I can have Mudbray come out, like, after the fact. And then we can go from there. So I'm just going to go up this hill, because if I remember correctly, there's a couple of Pokemon up here that we can... And, you know, I should probably catch a Ghastly now that I'm thinking about it, because it's probably not a bad idea. As I say, there's at least one trainer up here that we can fight out of the 9. But there's a few trainers that we can fight in a different area that's over near one of the tough trainers. There's one tough trainer in West Province Area 1. One of the tough trainers is near the windmills. Or, I don't know if they're... Well, yeah, they would be windmills because they're little towers, but they have windmills on them. One of the tough trainers is over by the windmills, and then the other tough trainer is over by the... there's a cave on the south side of West Province Area 1, so the other tough trainer is over by the cave. And there's a big chunk of trainers over by the cave. Oh, this thing has rollout. I better get the heck out of here. There's a big chunk of trainers over by the cave that actually have some Pokemon that are not fully evolved, but, like, not Stage 1 Pokemon, you know? So, they actually offer a pretty decent chunk of experience. Like, one of the trainers over there has a Pikachu and a Misdreavus, and those will actually give you decent experience for this point in the game. So, since that's the case, we're going to try to battle all of those trainers over there to get as much experience as possible. And we got to be a little careful as well, because some of the trainers over there, well, one of the trainers over there I've already talked about. It's one of the cabbies who has a Squawkabilly with Hustle and Aerial Ace, which can be pretty powerful, as you can probably guess. You know, I probably will survive all these rollouts, even if I get full parrot a couple of times, so it's fine. Let's just leave Mudbray in. This is what I get for not getting one with stamina. Otherwise, I get a defense boost every time I get rollouted. Oh well. But Dunsparce should be worth good experience. Yeah, that's not bad. Hey, there we go. Everybody's at level 21 that needs to be up there. Cool. Thanks, Nuria. No, it does not. It definitely does not. However, the final evolution that we needed in order to be fully prepared for the Team Star base is ready, because Combi is evolving. God, I need to blow my nose after this. Sorry. Just really bugging me right now. And yes, now we have a Vespiquen as well. Perfect. And that will give us a bug type. So dark types, weak to fighting, bug, and fairy. We have fighting, bug, and fairy ready to go. And you know what? I'll give you Slash as well, because it's probably better for you than Gust, honestly. And I'll get rid of Struggle Bug for Fell Stinger as well. But oh my god, slay, girl! There you go. Oh, yeah, well, they're right, but sorry, this isn't going to help you get that clear amulet. So, alright, let's check it out real quick. And yeah, she was adamant, first of all, so that's a good thing. But, I mean, 42 attack's not bad, considering what I'm working with here. And if we remember moves, yeah, there's a few moves for her to remember here, but the main one is this one right here, Fell Stinger, which it's got 50 base power in this game, first of all. And second of all, if you KO a target with Fell Stinger, it raises your attack by 3 stages. I was very strongly considering a Vespiquen as a main team member in this game, solely for this move, because I was like, well, I could give you an Assault Vest and then have you come in and KO something with Fell Stinger, and then you'll have +1 special defense and +3 attack. But, couldn't really fit it on the team, so decided to use it for the Team Star stuff instead. Works pretty nicely, though, for my particular use. Let me think about this. You shouldn't need to use anything other than Aura Sphere in the next fight, and you've got Terra Fighting. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure I caught Riolu as, well, Riolu. You can, I don't know if you can catch Lucario in the wild in this one, but I'm pretty sure you can. That being said, I didn't want to catch it as a wild Riolu, because I said, no, I want to make sure its Terra type is fighting so that way it's at its most useful for the Dark type Team Star base. So, there you go. But that's 1 trainer down, only 8 more to go here in this area. Yeah, jeebus, that's a lot of attack stat. Alright, let me heal these Pokemon. I'm going to put Mudbray back in the PC, am I? I could always use it for the next... There's one more fight between here and the base itself. There's like a quote-unquote test fight. Not really a test, but, you know. But I could have Mudbray in for that one. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my specialists in the PC, because they don't need any more levels than what they've already got. I'm going to keep Mudbray out of the PC. God, I'm really sorry. I need to blow my nose really badly. Put these guys in the team really quickly. Oh my god, it's getting so bad I can't even breathe out of my nose. Let me blow my nose real quick so that I can actually talk, and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I can breathe again, I think. Kind of, vaguely. Hang on, there's still some in there, my bad. See, the trouble is that when I'm doing this stuff, I breathe out of my nose a lot, so, like, if I go to breathe out of my nose, and, like, it catches, because there's a catch, there's, like, mucus at the top of my nostrils, so, like, it's not down where it's running, it's up in a little bit, so closer to my sinuses. So if I go to breathe in and it doesn't feel like there's any problem, then all of a sudden I catch, like, the air catches because I'll go to breathe in and I can't breathe in. That's a problem. Because I need air to live, one, and two, it's a problem because, like, if I try to breathe in and just, you know, no breath comes in and I'm still trying to talk, obviously that doesn't really work out. Okay, before we go over here, I'm just going to save real quick. I don't think we need to, but just for the heck of it, let's do it. Oh my god, it's raining. Yes, finally. Well, I don't know why you wanted rain, but I'm glad it's raining for you, and I'm glad you're happy about it. Yeah, air, it sucks. Feel the pain too. Yeah, and it's not even like, sometimes at this time of the year, I can have a little bit of like allergies to the tree pollen, but that's not what this is. This is a holdover. This is a remnant from the sickness that I had last week. I feel fine physically. Everything feels fine. It's just the stuff that's... Is that a bombardier? Wow. It's just the stuff that's stuck up in there that's causing me duress at the moment, and that's the problem, really. Not much I can do about it for right now, but... Well, it looks like Team Star's blocking the road over there, so it's a good thing we're here, because they're cutting off a trade route between Cortondo and Cascaraffa. I'm getting a phone call, though. Hang on. Hello? Oh, hey, Cassiopeia. Oh, I guess I am. That would explain the roadblock. Sure, why not? Already here. Working on getting stronger anyway. Might as well. Yeah, let's beat him out of here. Okay, fair enough. Who's eavesdropping on us? Oh. He looks familiar. I can't quite put my finger on why, but he looks familiar for some reason. It's probably nothing. Clive, huh? Yeah, you know, it's not nice to eavesdrop on people's conversation. Wait, I feel like I've had this conversation with someone before. Who says hackles anymore? Maybe. Did we meet at the academy? Maybe he was in one of my classes. Maybe that's why I recognize him. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Only one way to find out if he's telling the truth or not, and that's let him in the operation. Fair enough. Okay. That's a heck of a question to ask right away from somebody who hasn't told me anything about themselves. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll learn more about Cassiopeia the further along we go with the story, I'm sure. He has that breakdown haircut. Something like that. It's a lot of hair gel he's putting in. I wonder if he takes any notes from Gita. La Primera. Okay, so go into the bases, beat up the bosses, and I guess turn them into not bosses? Okay. Yeah, we're pretty close to it right now, actually. I'm just lucky I didn't accidentally fly over one of the other ones in the process of doing other things so far. Okay, so got to find the squad boss somewhere inside the base. Oh. Who came up with this code? And why would they agree to terms like that? Well, questions for later. I guess we can ask the bosses when we're done. Declaring war on them, apparently. Okay, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense, you know, cut off the heads and the rest will scatter. So this is going to be a little tougher than your Joe average trainer battles, huh? It's actually a completely different variety of trainer battle. It's not even really a trainer battle. Your Pokemon inside the bases don't gain any experience points, so you don't have to worry about breaking the level cap once you get inside of there. They'll stay at level, whatever level you bring them in as the whole time, so. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Now, there's typically at least one grunt guarding the main gate of the base that you'll have to deal with. Sometimes there's more than one, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that. No, I think there is just one at all of them. Well, anyway, you have to defeat the guard at the main gate, and that is a traditional trainer battle. So we'll defeat the guard in a traditional battle, and then once we're done defeating the guard, that's when we'll go and do something else. So, okay, fair enough. So I know my role. So I guess Clive will do the monitoring, the eavesdropping, since he's pretty good at that. I'll do the direct fighting, and Cassiopeia will be on tech support. Fair enough. Guess we've all got some plans. Yeah, you look familiar. I can't quite put my finger on why. Okay, I'm pretty sure most normal Academy students wouldn't need to say that, but, you know, it's okay. I'm already talking to a suspicious character that hacked my phone, so even if you're a little suspicious, you're not the most suspicious person in the room. So, dang, that thing must have its own gravity. Yeah, boy, it probably does, considering how far it floofs out like that. Good lord. Okay, so Mudbray's in front. This is the Dark-type base, so Interceptor's about to have a field day with a 99% accurate play rough, but we'll have Interceptor hang out at the front gate and defeat the goons out front. Once we're done defeating the goons, we'll get our specialists in here and we'll save the game, and then we'll take on the base. Hey there. Yeah, I noticed that. You guys have got some cool decorations out here to let us know. The Sagan Squad? Who named it that? How, like, can't you just call yourselves the Dark-type crew? Isn't that easier to remember? I'd like to see you try to send me packing, amigo. Gee, what gave you that idea? Well, we'll see. How about I get thrashed? Or rather, I do the thrashing. Bring it on, lady! Hey, Chuck, how you doing? Welcome back. Cassiopeia is a group of stars, and each star has its own name. Yes, that's probably where the reference came from. So actually, then probably that's what the Sagan stuff is, huh? Those are probably the names of the stars in the Cassiopeia star cluster, right? I don't know if any Joe average kid is going to know that, but hey, fair enough, you know. I didn't know that, but then again, I'm not exactly a, you know, all that up and up on star names, so. Ow, quit it. I said, quit it! Bah. Well, I just wasted another Team Star Grunt battle theme, so whoops. But Mudbray's almost level 20, so that's a good thing. That's why it's Team Star. You didn't know that until YouTube? Okay, well that's fair too. I mean, if you learned it from, you know, somebody else telling you, that makes sense. Hey John, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, Carl Sagan reference, something like that. Would make sense for him to be referenced in stuff like this because he was very, very important to the astrophysicists community back in the 80s and the 90s. I remember watching stuff from him all the way back in the day. I think they had reruns of his stuff even all the way back into the 2000s too. So, did she just desert you? Uh-huh. Is that your job or? Okay. Well, I'm already committed, so I don't think I'll be turning tail. Thanks for the warning, though, I guess. You personally hate the stupid cars, status number, copycat number. Status, not states. Yeah, the cars are something. We'll talk about the cars when we get into the base real quick, but yeah, the guard was a little tricky, but that's because Interceptor hasn't evolved yet. Just wait until he gets a little bit more doughy. Oh, okay, so he's like the MC. Fair enough. He can try. I have 3 fully evolved Pokemon to take on this first base. I don't think that's gonna work out very well for him. Okay. I'll see what I can do, Cassiopeia. Alright, so with the grunt defeated, we can now ring the bell on the gates and go in. Let me heal Interceptor first real quick. I don't need to because I'm going to put him back in the PC along with everybody else while I get out our specialists, but that's okay. Alright, stick you up here. Grab you. Nope, put you down there. There we go. And there we go. Alright, so we have our 3 specialists. And I think... Is there anything I want to give any of you guys? I guess I could give Lucario the Wise Glasses just to ensure that we get a clean 2-hit KO. I'm going to give him a Terra... I'm going to Terra him anyway to make sure that he deals massive damage, but really all we need is Aura Sphere anyway. So we don't even need any of the others to actually do anything in terms of a battle. Why? Well, you'll see in a minute once we go inside. Like I said, there are battles... Well, there is a battle... traditional battle in here, but it's the rest of the base is not exactly a traditional battle. So, and again, your Pokemon don't gain experience while they're in there, so don't worry about them going too high of level just from this. You can, you copycat. Also, Giacomo's car has base 217 speed, so try to outspeed it. When the... Yeah, that, I don't think we're outspeeding that thing anytime soon, but that's okay. We don't need to outspeed it. I'm good. I've got a Lucario. I'll be fine. So, the way that the Team Star bases work, you can only challenge the bases with the first 3 Pokemon in your party, so make sure that the first 3 Pokemon in your party are the ones that you either are planning on bringing in, or they have a type advantage against whatever the base specializes in. In this case, the base is Dark type, so we've brought in Lucario, Vespiquen, and Azumarill. Let me just check and make sure I have all 3 of them. Yes, I do. So Dark types are weak against Fighting, Bug, and Fairy, respectively, so they have an advantage. The first Pokemon that you have in your party will be the first one that comes out when the boss comes out. So make sure that whatever you've got in the front slot is the one that you want to be first out to fight the boss. But other than that, it's kind of just, you know, walk right in and challenge them up. You learn that one the hard way? Yeah, I can imagine. Traffic cone spikes? Cute. Yeah, I mean, they aren't exactly going to get regular spikes from anywhere, so they got to make do with what they've got. Ready, Lucario? Yeah, so it's almost like a mini game, each Team Star base. It's called a Star Barrage. And basically, you know how I've been sending out Pokemon by holding down the ZL button and then throwing the ball at them to fight them with the ZR button? Instead of doing that, you need to use the R button, which is the one that Nimona mentioned was the Let's Go feature, where you send the Pokemon out and it'll either run around and gather items or it'll fight other Pokemon around it. So we need to use the R button to have our Pokemon fight the opposing Pokemon. And then you can either walk back over to Clive to get them healed if they get low on health, or you can walk up to the vending machines that are inside of the base as well. So you don't lose progress, though, if you have to heal. So if you do have to heal, don't worry about it. That being said, if you have super effective hits, you're probably going to be fine. You probably won't even lose much HP at all. So... And by the way, once the Star Barrage is complete, you get a full heal before the boss as well. So if your Pokemon is running low, don't worry about it. You'll just get a full heal anyway. So, as far as the actual requirements go, you have to defeat 30 Pokemon in 10 minutes, which is a requirement that is so lenient that you pretty much have to be falling asleep in order to not make this. As you'll see, we'll probably get this done in approximately a minute and a half. But, you know. So... they'll keep count of how many Pokemon you've knocked out at the top of the screen. If you run out of time, you lose, but the likelihood of that happening is almost none. If you want to give up, you can press the Y button. I don't know why you'd ever do that, but you can always recover HP at the vending machines as well. So let's beat up 30 Pokemon. They'll send them out in waves around you, and then you just kind of press the R button, send out the Pokemon, leave them alone, walk to another group. So let Lucario handle that group. You can have Vespiquen handle this group. I feel like a lot of people, what they do with these is they spam the R button on a single group of Pokemon, whereas you'd probably be better served by just letting one of them deal with one group, and then running to the next group, and then letting them handle that group, and running to the next group, and so on and so forth, like this. Because then they can just kind of... They're not, like, defeating things on top of each other, you know what I mean? So... Plus, it's funny just wandering around the base and just listening to the thing tick up. Just ding, ding, ding. All over the place. So... I think we should be just about done. Maybe one more group after this. So Vespiquen, it looks like you're getting the last laugh here. 27, 28, 29. I will need one more. Okay, well, we're all head full. Vespiquen's lost a little bit of health, but that's fine. Lucario, finish this up. Lucario, that's enough. You don't have... Okay. He's bloodthirsty, apparently. So yeah, as you can see, the time limit is very, very lenient, especially if you have a super effective move against them. But you don't even really need that, because most of the Pokemon that you're fighting there are like 10 levels lower than the level cap of the base. So, you know. Also, that low-quality gate texture. It's like, oh my god, this game. I know they have to do that in order to make the game run, but like, Jesus, Breath of the Wild looked fine, and it was on the same system. Hell, they had to program Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. Like, what are you guys doing? You beat it with under 2 minutes? Yeah, I can see that. This is where you implode. All right, Pad, take it easy. We'll see ya. Like, bro, the only time it was more than 2 minutes is when you used the bathroom. I thought one of the Sneasels were shiny. You're going insane. Oh, that's okay. Sneasel, if I remember correctly, has a very distinct shiny color, so we would know. It would be funny if it happened, though, because it would not be the first time where an unobtainable shiny has shown up for me. The first time I booted up Pokemon Black and White, the tutorial Patrat was shiny. And up until I got Violet, that was the only shiny I found. I did not find a single shiny in all of Gen 6, not in Gen 7. I barely played Gen 8, so, you know. Yeah, Lucario was out for blood, jeez. Pretty much. Alright, bring on the boss. And his big dumb car. If you were wondering what the car was, this is the car. This LED-infested monstrosity with like 6 Pokemon strapped to it. The engine is literally a Pokemon. No, I don't understand it either, but here's Giacomo. You have a Sneasel and a Weavile shiny? You have 2. Oh, there you go. Not the car! Found a single Magikarp, so you feel that? Yeah, I can definitely understand that then. Oh boy. That's me, don't wear it out. Well, it'll be a vibe for about 3 seconds until I knock you flat on the floor. So you think. Let's see if you can back up those words. Alright, but you did the music wrong. You're supposed to zoom in on this. This is where the riff should pick up, right here, as it zooms in on them holding the Pokeball out. Don't do the loading while the riff is going down, like while the breakdown's happening. Have it boot up. Like, start it at a second and a half later so that it zooms in on them there. Like, there's just silence as they pull their Pokeball out. Like, come on now. Anyway, he's got 2 Pokemon, a Pawniard and the car. So, Lucario, you know what to do. Goodbye, Pawniard. Hit him with a vibe check. About to vibe check the car, too. Hold on. So the car is called Revavroom. Now, Revavroom is a steel and poison type. It's a fully evolved Pokemon as well. But the car is just the Revavroom, basically. And, of course, the rest of the car. But, you know. So here's Intimidate. If you had the Clear Amulet, that wouldn't proc. But Lucario's using a special attack right now, so that doesn't even matter all that much. The Starmobiles are similar to Titan Pokemon, except they are completely invulnerable to all status moves except for those that raise or lower statuses. And by that I mean not statuses, stats. So, like, they are vulnerable to having their attack, defense, special defense, and speed lowered, but they're not, for example, vulnerable to Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp or Leech Seed or Yawn or any of that sort of stuff. Or Taunt, even, as well, which is a pretty big deal for later, but... This one in particular is just a regular Dark type rather than the Steel Poison type that Revavroom normally is, so... let's just Terra up and 2-hit KO it with Aura Sphere, shall we? Yeah, and they're also invulnerable to Salt Cure, so Knuckle Stack can't be used for that. So instead, Lucario, it's your time to shine. Show this man what a big mistake he's made today. Oh, Wicked Torque. I probably should have had you holding a Chesto Berry, because that can put me to sleep, can't it? Yes, it can. Okay. Well, that explains the hold item that I should have had you holding, but that's okay. Is that supposed to be the opening track? Because you're about to have an outro once I wake up. Ah, well, we get to listen to the Team Star boss music theme, which is also pretty good. I don't like it quite as much as the Grunt theme, but yeah, it's there. Alright, go ahead, Lucario. Send him packing. Probably won't one-shot, but boy, will it do a lot of damage. Alright, see if we can get away with not falling asleep again. I'll just heal if I fall asleep again, it's fine. Okay, good. And goodbye. How's that for an outro track? Yeah, and we don't get to see the Terra fading away here either because it just fades to black before you can watch it. I don't know who programmed that to happen, but again, it was not like that in the original version of the game. So, what gives? All right, we beat the Team Star boss fight. Now it's time for 5 minutes of cutscenes. Is she okay? Like, are those boots causing her to walk like that, where she has to, like, lift her feet up like crazy? Because maybe you should give her boots that actually let her walk like a normal person. Anyway. So yeah, you get a flashback to the rest of the Team Star crew talking about their plans, I suppose. Well, yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of hard to be a team if everybody was just doing their own thing. Wonder how he ended up on a shady Pokemon team, because usually these guys are not exactly presidents of the student council, you know? Like, what kind of rules? Oh my god. I get the feeling this Atticus kid really likes talking in Old English type of stuff. He didn't put the word nape in the rules, right? Like, you're just adding that in because you like saying things like vexation made manifest in real talk. How do you figure if he's having rules that are as stringent as that? Well, maybe he's changed his attitude since he was the president. I guess so. Wah, wah. Yeah, vexation? Can't use Revival Blessing against the cars? Like what? Oh, that's interesting. I've never tried that one. Revival Blessing is like it's a Pokemon move that lets you use a revive on your Pokemon as well. So I wouldn't have really known that one. That sums up Scarlet and Violet perfectly. But aesthetic. I did it a time over and over again. Oh, you just Googled it. The more you know. Okay, there you go. Yeah, vexation. So it's like, how would I describe vexation? It's like when you're affronting someone. You're almost like you're insulting something. Or, well, a vexation is basically an insult, essentially. So an insult made manifest. So much fun to deal with on Showdown. I hope the cars aren't programmed into Showdown. Good lord, man. Alright, well, we get a badge out of this as well. A star badge. And we get to shake hands with the crew members. And the crew leader, in this case. Maybe just the crew leader. I don't know. He gives you the TM for foul play for beating him, so I suppose that can be useful if you've got a Pokemon that's like... Maybe if you have an Umbreon or something, it wouldn't be bad for it. So... I mean, I could have given Lucario a Chesto Berry and you literally wouldn't have survived that battle, but, you know. Sure. Definitely learned those at the Academy. Definitely don't have 30 years-ish worth of Pokemon experience before this. Nope, all from the Academy. Yeah, so far it's been fun. Something like that. Well, I suppose with you not being the boss anymore, since we've ousted you from your boss ranking. Yeah, I guess you guys are being pretty truant by just wandering out into the wilderness and not participating in the independent study, huh? With Fleppabarius as being annoyed, and then Mela pushes you down. Yeah, there's that too. We'll show that off when we get there, but, you know. As I say, is this the boss that you're waiting for, or... Yeah. So, they're all bosses of Team Star, quote-unquote, but there's a top boss, like how Geeta is the top champion. So, it's kind of like they're the Elite 5 for the top boss, where Geeta is the head of the Elite 4. There's this big boss of ours. I don't know, we haven't seen her since the 60s when she fought that snake dude. We thought she was going to beat him, but then he taught her the basics of CQC. Oh. Oh, fair enough. At least you've got a crew of people that you treasure a lot. I think. I don't know if it would be worth treasuring somebody if it's making you chronically truant to school, but... what do I know, right? Well, that's one team wiped off the map, and one road made, well, full again. They aren't blocking the way anymore. If we go outside of here, you can actually see we can actually get to Cascaraffa without the walls being in the way. We could always get to Cascaraffa because we could just jump into the Asado Desert and then wander over, but now you don't have to jump into the desert in order to do that, so... He sure did. I beat him very soundly with my Lucario. You okay, Cassiopeia? That sounded almost... mournful. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Nice. 5,000 extra LP, and we already had almost 11,000, so that's pretty good. Now, the advantage to finishing out the Team Star bases is that for defeating them, you can actually make new TMs at the TM machine. Your selection of TMs is limited in the game by either A, what you find, or B, what you initially had access to when you very first started the game up. But for every Team Star base that you defeat, you gain access to new recipes for new TMs. In certain cases, they're the only way that you can get access to those TMs. In particular, you cannot get access to the elemental punches unless you defeat these Team Star bases. They are not found in the world map. You can only make them from materials using the stuff that but you have to get the recipe from the Team Star bases. You can't actually just throw materials into the TM machine if you know which ones you need. You need the recipe in order to make the TM. So the nice thing about these bases is, again, just being able to access new TMs. Although, one of the things about the TMs is that I think I don't know if it's a bug, but if I remember correctly, after you beat this base, you can actually make the TM for Ice Spinner, which is supposed to be exclusive to the 8th gym leader, because the 8th gym leader is an Ice-type gym leader, and they give you an Ice Spinner TM. So I don't think you're supposed to be able to make it just yet, but because if I remember correctly, all the other TMs that the gym leaders give you are exclusive to them. You can't make them from Team Star bases, but Ice Spinner is an exception. And I'm not sure why you can do that, but hey, if you're using a Bronzor, it's pretty good. Bronzor can get ice ground coverage in this little area of the woods because you can get an Earthquake TM from over in the Asado Desert, and you can get Ice Spinner after fighting this base, so it can have Iron Head, Ice Spinner, and Earthquake as its coverage moves, and that's pretty damn good coverage, so... If I was using a Bronzor that in my team, originally there was a thought there that I could have. That would have been its moveset, and then Stealth Rock. So, oh, cool. I mean, I don't really need anything else, but yeah. So in order to help you out with making the new TMs you have access to, you'll get a few materials as well from a supplier. Oh, it's that girl I saved in the front of the school. Hi, Penny, right? Yeah. No, I remember that. That wasn't too long ago. Only a few weeks, really. How did you learn about Operation Starfall? Because as far as I know, I'm the only one that knows about... Well, me and Clive. Maybe Clive told you. Oh, you're good with machines and hacking and stuff, huh? Maybe you can help me with the person who hacked my smartphone. Please stop doing this, Pokemon. Like, I know there are children playing, but good lord, man. They're not stupid. Hooray for friendship, I suppose, in this particular case. I don't know if the friendship in this case is great, because, again, it's making them chronically truant to school, but... Anyway, yeah, so we get new TMs and we get new materials from Penny every time we finish out a Team Star base, so... I mean, I don't know. I had 3 fully evolved Pokemon, and they had a bunch of not fully evolved ones, so... I tried to do that, though, with the... Alright, bye, Penny. With the Team Star specialists that I have, basically, I wanted to grab ones that would evolve at around the time when the Team Star base is being handled. So... Like, Lucario can evolve just by friendship during the day. Azumarill can evolve, you know, Marill can evolve into Azumarill at level 18. Combi evolves into Vespiquen at level 21, so that's exactly at the level cap. And the remainder of the Pokemon that we use for the Team Star bases will have something similar to that. They'll evolve either at the level cap or very close to the level cap. So, like, the next level cap is going to be 26, which explains why we have... Hold on. The 3 specialists that we do for that one, which are Arrokuda, Diglett, and Rockruff. All of the above will evolve at either level 25 or level 26. So they will be ready to take on their specialty roles once we get that far. But let's put these specialists back. They'll be useful... Well, actually, I think I'm going to let Azumarill rest because I don't want her to be depressed ever again for the rest of the game. But Lucario and Vespiquen will probably show up again in at least one of the other Team Star fights. We're just going to have to raise their levels, which might be a bit of a tall order, considering we're going to be getting ready to go and find a few other Pokemon to capture here in just a little bit. Let's bring Mudbray back into the party as well. And then, do I want to go catch the other 2 team members that I want in the interim, like for the last thing that we do today? Because I only got like 10 minutes, so... Alright, Conker, take it easy. You have a good one as well. We'll see you on the next one. So, maybe I'll go catch my other 2 team members that I'm planning on using here. We can actually use Toxel now, though, so that's pretty nice. Check his moves real quick. Well, we're just going to want to put... He can't really learn anything new for a little while. I might be able to give him some berries so he can actually make use of the move Belch. It's a really strong move, but you have to use a berry every time you use it, so it's it can be a little tricky to use effectively, you know. But we can probably find some berries for him to use. I've got 1 Oran berry, so I guess we can give it to him. There you go, buddy. Use that berry up and then burp all over the enemies, so... Alright, let's see. Oh, good, and now it's randomly raining. Well, let's go to Cascaraffa at the very least, anyway. So, that way we can... And, you know, maybe I won't go catch the other 2 Pokemon just yet, because I can always save that for next time. Am I going to be able to... Let me think about that. That might not be a good idea, depending on how much time we take next time, because... the next episode, we have... Our next objective, basically, is we're going to try to get it so that we can take on the next gym leader. That's level 24 we have to be at. And then after that is the next Team Star base, which is level 26. But our specialists for that base are currently sitting at level 15. And if we're going to be catching a bunch of our team members at around this time, it's obviously going to make it a little trickier to, like, I don't know, raise them all the way up, especially since Arakuda is in the slow experience group. Also, I understand the game's chugging. I apologize for that. I probably should save it and turn it off, but we're almost done for the day, so might as well just do it all the way for the rest of this. Okay, so since we're in Cascaraffa, I might as well go buy an item that I've been meaning to buy as well. So let me go and grab that because it's available at the Delibird presence on the ground floor. Get my Terra Orb charged up while I'm at it. Cool. Let's go down this way. There is an elevator available, but I'm not even going to take it. I'm just going to go like this and jump off because we can literally just do this. We might as well take advantage of the fact that I got all these field moves, you know. Alright, here's the Delibird presence. Let's go inside. Grab up an item. It is, I think, in battle items, but I could be wrong. No, it's in battle items. The Mirror Herb. I actually really like this item. As far as I'm aware, it was just added in this generation. It's not necessarily the best thing to have for, like, actual battling, although it does have its uses in actual just regular battling. Because what'll happen is if the opponent uses a really powerful, like, stat boosting move, you copy those stat boosts and then you've got it. So if they use Dragon Dance, then now you've got a Dragon Dance if you were holding this. And that can be useful in certain situations. It is, however, useful for something else that we'll talk about probably next time, actually. So, but there we go. Grab that, and then, let's see. Well, there's a couple of things that we can do, so let's go out to the desert, actually. I am going to catch the 2 Pokemon that I said I was going to... I wasn't sure if I was going to catch. Oh, look, an Earthworm. I don't know if those start showing up out here until you've beaten the Titan. They might, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, hey, Cacturn. I thought about using a Cacturn for my team for this game as well. Like, it was kind of between 2 teams, and if you were on the Discord server, you may know this because I actually posted something fairly innocuous on the Discord server before that was basically, it was like, choose your squad. Oh, look, Earth Power. It was like, choose your squad, and I put 3 teams on there, and one of the teams is the one that I'm actually going to be using for this playthrough, which includes the 3 that I've got right now. Mudbray's not in that list, but Mudbray will be useful for something else. And then the other team was going to be like a faux Sandstorm team that featured a Hippowdon, a Cacturn, Bronzong, and then 3 Pokemon with the safety goggles as hold items. So that way they wouldn't get hurt by the Sandstorm while they were in the process. So. Now, Smoliv, you can't learn Hyper Voice, but can you learn Earth Power? Yes, you can. All right. Coverage move a go-go. Perfect. Well, that's what we'll stick here then. Not bad, Smoliv. Not bad at all. So yeah, Smoliv can actually learn Earth Power, which is surprising to me, but it's one of the key advantages to using its evolutionary line. It gets access to a Ground-type move for coverage, so I'll definitely take that. That was the main reason to come up here, honestly, but yeah, I guess there's a few other things up on these rocks we can go grab over here. The main place I want to go is over by where we fought Iron Treads, because one of the Pokemon that I'm actually looking for my team is available to catch over there. So we'll go and see if we can capture it before we get done. I'd like it to be a female Pokemon, because that lines up better with the nickname that I have planned. So, and I don't really care which ability it has. Both of the abilities that it gets are really good. So, yeah, Body Slam TM, that's not bad either. Not that Smoliv can use that particularly well, but I don't even know if Smoliv can learn Body Slam, honestly. Quite a lot of powerful items up here, though. There's a rare bone right there. A Brick Break TM. I think there's a Pearl String up here somewhere as well. Maybe this is it. Yeah, there it is. So, if you can get on top of these places, lots and lots of money available for you to grab. Just line your pockets with gold, basically. All right, I'm going to fly over to the watchtower over here. If I remember correctly, this one does not have a gimme ghoul on top of it, but it still acts as a fly point for the middle of the desert, which can be useful in certain situations. So can't go up it by using the ladder, though. But we can get a Rain Dance TM underneath it. We can get on top of it just by high jumping, though. So if you wanted to get a Hippopotas, like I was originally going to do, you're going to want to go over this ridge, basically, here. And then I think, if I remember right, they're all down here somewhere. Or they can start spawning down here. There's a Fanpy and Donphan family. And another one. Yeah, they should be somewhere in here. I don't remember where exactly, but they're not the ones that I'm actually looking for in this particular case. Is that it right there? No, that's a Relor. Little scarab with a mud ball. So that's not what I'm looking for. Gotta be around here somewhere. Oh, there's a Hippopotas over there. And a whole family right there. And a Braviary that will probably eat me if I sedate too close to it. So let's not do that today. Let's see. Relor, Hippopotas. See, now I'm not going to be able to find... Oop, nope, found it. Never mind. I was going to say, now I'm not going to be able to find it just because I'm looking for something in particular. All right, you're level 26, so I don't want that one in particular. I need to find one that I can actually use for the next gym, which means it needs to be level 24 or lower. So let's have a look here. Is that... Okay, Iron Treads is over there if we wanted to catch it, but it's going to be the same level as it would have been for the gym battle, so... Oh, an Orthworm. I was like, what the heck is that thing sticking out of the ground? I was going to say the same thing about that item that it wouldn't let me pick up. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit because it'll make it easier to find these things and differentiate them from Relor. Oh, Miracle Seed. Okay, I'll take it. And a Moonstone. Not bad. Level 25. Still too high of a level. The level cap is 24 for the next gym, so I'm trying to find one that's around there. Evidently, it's not as easy as I initially thought it was going to be. But it shouldn't be too hard to find them. They're usually all over the place here, but maybe I'm just not having good luck. I'm finding more Hippopotas now that I don't need it, you know. Those are both Relor. I thought I saw another shiny, but it's probably just the same exact one that I... Nope, different one. 25, though. Still too high. Oh, you can find Larvesta out here. On a Volcarona. Actually, you'll be able to use a Volcarona in this game because Volcarona is... I don't think it evolves until level 59 or something like that, Larvesta. But Volcarona is actually, like, you'll actually get to that level before the end of the game, unlike in most Pokemon games where that's just way too high. So... Okay, well, Orthworm's not the one I'm looking for, so... How about you? Still 26, man. Why are these things such high levels? I found one at, like, level 20 not that long ago when I tested this out to make sure. Maybe I'm in the wrong section of the thing. Maybe I need to go further south and it'll be less level-wise. Oh, that one's 23. Okay. I can use that one. Pardon me, Braviary. This I need to get behind this thing. Oh, never mind. Turns back on me. Huh. Now let's hope it's female. Okay, we're in business. All right. A Sandile is what I was looking for. Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough. Well, with the added benefit of having gotten a preemptive strike, it is probably enough, actually. So, let's give her a shot. And then get the heck out of here before that Braviary eats me. Good lord, man. Alright, but we got Sandile. Like I said, both of Sandile's abilities are really good. So I'm not really worried if it... I think... I didn't see Intimidate, so it probably has Moxie, which is absolutely fine. I'll take Moxie any day of the week. It'll just make sweeps even easier. If, like, fighting against a trainer with a whole bunch of Pokemon that ground or dark are super effective against. Strength over Stomp? Yeah, I guess I could use Strength over Stomp. Why not? You can actually just delete HM moves in this one because there are no HM moves, so it's not like you're going to have to go to move deleter or something to get rid of strength. Excuse me. I probably won't keep strength for very long anyway because I'm planning on teaching a different move to Mudbray to help out with the third gym, excuse me. Alright, and this is going to be our 4th team member, this Sandile. We won't be able to use her quite effectively until we get everybody else up to level 23, but she'll be able to participate in the 3rd gym battle, which is good because the 3rd gym is electric type. So, let's give her a good name. It actually does, in fact, start with an S, so I don't know if it's a good name necessarily, but I thought it was an okay enough pun. Shaylee. Not Shillelagh, Shaylee. That's a cute Pokedex picture. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay, that's what that was. Leaving now. Getting the hell out of here. Don't want anything to do with that Braviary that's about to eat me over there. Let's get to South Levincia, because that will get me as far away from it as possible. That Braviary's like level 55. I don't want anything to do with that. Okay, let's heal up, and then we'll head down to the beach, and we'll catch the last one that I'm looking for, and then we'll call it a day. And there will be a couple more that we'll need to catch still, besides these, but we'll address that in just a little bit. So, although I don't think that having this team in front is such a good idea for what I want to go catch here. Let's get the Goater Cycle out. Why not? Because the Goater Cycle can help against the next thing that I want to fight, so... There we go. And in order to fight the next thing that I want to fight, we need to go down into the Walda. So let's go down into the Walda. See if we can find it relatively quickly. Probably not, but that's okay if we don't. It's a Weasel. This is Levincia, that's not what I'm looking for. I think we have to go out into the East Paldean Sea in order to find what I'm looking for here, actually. So, let's go have a look. Bunch of Wattrel. Not what I'm looking for. Just be careful of the Veluza. They're all still out here, and if they see you, oh, it doesn't end well for you. Trust me. Where are you supposed to be? Hard to tell from here, but let's look. Oh, you're what I'm looking for. Okay, perfect. Are you male? Yes, you are. Right next to the Veluza, after all. A Clauncher. A Violet exclusive, actually, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to use it in my team, because, well, you don't often get to see some of the exclusive Pokemon being used on people's teams, so. Alright, Chris, take it easy. Get some sleep. We're almost done anyway. As soon as I catch this, I'm calling it a day, so there we go. Yeah, get some sleep. We'll see you on the next one. A little bit of extra experience. The Goater Cycle is almost level 23. And we have our 5th team member, just like that. Team members number 4 and 5. And actually, this Clauncher, I think I saw it was at level 23, right? So that means that we can actually bring it with us for some of the training that we're going to do going forward. Of course, that's going to create a bit of a problem, but I'll talk about that in a second. First, let's give it a nickname. It does, in fact, start with a C. Maybe I should have done something about that, but that's okay. This thing's got pinstripes on it, almost like a lieutenant. Lieutenant Creighton. Or will be a lieutenant when we promote him. But for now, maybe he's just a private. I don't know what comes before lieutenant. Unfortunately, I don't have a military background to be able to tell you that. But there you go. We have 5 team members and a Mudbray to accommodate us now. You know what? I'm going to get Goater Cycle level 23. I've got experience candies extra small. And that should be all he needs. Yep. Good. Okay. I don't know why I did that. Just there wasn't particularly any reason for it. I just figured, you know, why not? Oh, you were here. That's why. I'm like, wait a minute. Where do you normally go? All right. So Mudbray, you go down here. Roxas, you go here. Houseplant, you go there. And just like that, we have 5 out of our 6 team members. There's only 1 left to get, and we can't get it for a little while, so Mudbray can fill out the team there. But as I said, this is going to create a little bit of a problem here. The problem is we now have 6 team members, but we need to raise a total of 9 Pokemon, in order to not only be ready for the next gym and keep our team members up to date on their levels, but also in order to be ready for the next Team Star battle. So is there a way around that? How can we work within our limitations to actually make that make sense? And on top of that, will we be ready to take on the third gym here in Levincia, even though at the moment our objectives are, in terms of battles, are all the way across to the other side of the province? Find out on the next episode of Pokemon Violet, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Team's really starting to pull together. Pretty soon we'll be getting some evolutions as well, and then, well, things will start to steamroll from there, as you'll see soon enough. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube. Not Twitch and YouTube. I still don't stream on Twitch. I need to get the muscle memory out for that. To check out the stream. And I'll see all of you on the next one, which will be on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care and have a good one. I promise I'll get the muscle memory out for that eventually. It's just I've been doing it for years, so it's really, really difficult to get the muscle memory out when it's just so deeply ingrained into my psyche.